because it would be awkward.
Hello, and we are live. It is Fun Day, my favorite day of the week, when we combine Friday with fun and dive into Judge Dredd. I've given up trying to call it Friday. It always comes out Fun Day, and so I am embracing it. How is everyone doing? Thank you so much to Virginia for covering the tunnel. Had a couple of interesting little gremlins in the Encounter Roleplay engine tonight. But we seem to be back on track and ready to rock and roll. I see 5 retweets already. We get another 15. We give away some dice. Let's update that counter. And I saw a resub from Cleric, and you know what? I'm going to count that tonight. Normally we just count new subscribers, but you know what? I'm counting that 16 months. If we get a 5, we give away some more dice as well. So lots of options there if you want to win some tabletop loot dice. But before we get into all of the other good stuff going on tonight, I want to go around and say hello to everyone, because I haven't had a chance to do that yet this evening. Hello, first of all, to the wonderful Cleric of Cord. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing really well. It's been a nice week. Had a pickup game of D&D Wednesday evening with some friends. It was a lot of fun getting to play Paladin for some Halloween stuff. And back here with some Judge Dredd. Really excited to see what's going to happen next. Doing good.
Good. I am glad to hear it. And how are you doing, Shauna? After our finale on Wednesday, I'm so glad to get to play with you again.
Yes, again, yeah, I'm very happy, especially after that heartbreaking last episode. But yeah, I'm so happy to be back here playing Judge Dredd again, and playing familiar Judge from the previous series.
I felt that since we established we are in the same universe as Judge Judy last week, that this week when we had a spot open up, there was only one judge to call. And I'm very excited to see another side judge in action. Welcome back, of course, the wonderful Zippy Zippo. How are you doing today, friend?
Hello. I missed 2 weeks because of work, but now I'm back, and we're going to play. I'm sorry, I had a small stroke. We're going to play some. Game? I would love to play a game. Can we play games?
Let's play games.
Let's play games. I'm so excited.
Of course, we couldn't do tonight without the wonderful tabletop horde Virginia as our games master.
Oh, this is exciting. It's very weird being here now. I've seen the other side, Charlie, but it looks like you might have had some kobolds left over from that meat grinder knocking about in the system.
always lurking, always mocking me.
But no, I'm excited. This is great. Like I said when I was in the tunnel, I haven't got to stream with Shauna since Act Cthulhu, way back when on Encounter Roleplay. So I'm super excited, and I like this weird merging of the seasons that's happening. So it's going to be fun. I'm super excited.
We are judges for all seasons. We are the West judges. We're on the West block. Freedom Falls. But we are slowly but surely increasing that lore meter. A major thanks to Judge Judy, who cranked us up 2 last week by executing... I'm going to call her a terrorist, because that's what Judge Waits thinks she is. Terrorist Janie.
Yeah,
she was my friend.
How will this affect Judge Grease, who is undercover as Marlon Brando the Chimp? We'll find out more, and we'll do a proper recap in a second. But before that, I do want to remind you that tonight you can interact with today's stream by donating. There's a link of options down below, which includes critical hits, critical misses, big crits, twists of fate. Thank you so much, Roller300, for that subscription. What else have we got in there? We have absolute power down at the bottom, which is my favorite option. No one's hit it yet. I'm very curious to see what happens when they do. It could be nuts. We have previously on seasons had Leroy Jenkins show up, actual Cannibal Sheila Buff. It'll come down to whoever donates and Virginia to come up with what happens when absolute power is unleashed.
And I'm all for the craziness.
Can confirm. You can also interact by hitting that retweet button. As I mentioned, we want to give away some tabletop loot dice tonight, so pump it. Let's go. 20 retweets. You can do it if you have a Twitter account. Cast, hit that button if you haven't already. You guys can enable this giveaway as well. Speaking of tabletop loot and our sponsors, why don't I hand over to Past Charlie to tell you a little bit more about them? Before we begin today's show, I would like to take some time to remind you about our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. All of the beautiful maps and roles you see tonight are done using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer and 40k minis for up to 20% off regular retail price. And Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. Go and check them out at tabletoploot.com. I'm very excited. I fixed our stinger music. Alright, with that noted, also a massive shout out to Judge Dredd in the Worlds of 2000 AD, which is the system we are playing tonight, and our sponsors Enwald and Morris for letting us do this and letting us get down and dirty with these judges on this really terrible block. A reminder, if there is anything funny, silly, serious, dark, anything dramatic tonight that you want to clip, please do! We like making our little clip reels, and we can really only do that if people make clips. So please do. Without any further rambling from me, however, I would like to hand over to Virginia.
So, to give a quick recap for everybody in chat and maybe anybody who might have missed last week, we had a little bit of a time skip. Reinhold had been missing for a few days by the time we saw our judges again, and Judge Grease had disappeared off undercover distributing some of the judge tech that had come in on a shipment. This left Judge Waits and Judge Talon by themselves, as Judge Gilroy was called away back to HQ to explain what on earth had been going on in Freedom Falls, specifically with the large shipment of judge tech that had been called in for only a handful of judges. Judge Tetley had also gone missing, which was definitely worrying for the group, as they are very fond of the little corgi. And it looks like HQ sent down somebody to come and help them out, and we had Judge Judy step onto the block and really help take charge and bring some of these criminals in line, going up to the arcade and demanding that this was theirs and the judges were in control. Judge Waits dealt with a difficult problem she'd been having after having shut herself away for a couple of days, unable to find Reinhold and severely lacking any blood, which was soon fixed when a fight started in the arcade with some of the caged vipers. And Janie, who had met previously and Judge Grease had spoken to, tried to shoot Judge Judy with one of these modified lawgivers, which she missed the first shot and the second exploded in her hand. She was later sentenced to the harshest of penalties on a stairwell where Judge Waits eventually fed as she needed to. Tetley was discovered with the little girl that Waits heard about, who can touch things and know stuff that she shouldn't be able to know. And he'd been carrying a scrap of fabric, a piece of uniform, presumably belonging to Reinhold. Judge Talon had proved that her chemical soup did indeed work during the fight in the arcade, and has been slowly furthering the cause to bring in new produce and food to undermine the criminal gangs. You're still left wondering where Reinhold is. You might have a little bit more information on who's behind the militia, but you're still no closer to discovering where Reinhold has gone, or who the tall woman with the dark brunette hair with the blonde ends is, or how she's connected to any of this. A few more days have passed, and Judge Judy was sent off to another incident elsewhere, and unfortunately Judge Gilroy was reassigned due to an urgent medical need elsewhere in the city. You are back in the refuge, Judge Waits and Judge Talon. Judge Grease, you arrived maybe a day ago, back from being undercover, putting out your Marlon Brando specials among some of the gang population. And today you were also joined by Judge Fremont, sent as the replacement to Judge Judy to help you out while you discover what's happened to Judge Reinhold, another side judge, another one who can come in and perhaps see a little bit deeper into what's going on. This is where we begin. Judge Tetley, patiently waiting with you, Judge Waits. He hasn't left your side. He refuses to let go of the scrap of fabric that he's been carrying around.
Waits, I think, is kind of gently stroking his little ears. And mulling on the problem of, we found the dog, but it was clearly dumped, and the dog can't lead us there, and she's still edgy about using that little girl, afraid almost of what the little girl may see, knowing as she does the threats that have been put against us by the anti-militia and by those badges we've seen on the wall, even though we now suspect the two judges allegedly murdered here may not be dead. She's kind of hoping Grease is going to get some information, hoping that there's going to be a bit more of a lead, especially now that we have made an impact on the arcade. And she's just about ready to go on a patrol. She's using the confidence that Judy instilled in her to walk, to perform acts of justice, and to seize control of this area. She's heard rumors via HQ communication that we have another judge coming in today, and she's very curious who is being sent, as I think HQ have been kind of mysterious about who it is that's on their way.
And you are met, as you are now sat now, with Judge Fremont, who's just arrived on the block, and you found your way to the refuge. You've had to climb the stairs because mysteriously the elevator doesn't come when you call, but you easily find the floor and guess at it as you go up onto this floor. Painted in bright yellow paint on the wall is the judge emblem and eagle, and you figure this must be the floor. And you easily spot the refuge by the metal over the front and the metal door designed to protect against riots. This old section that would have been part of the city defense for the block, and the emblem again painted on the door. And you have come in and taken a seat, as there is a room full of judges, I imagine looking at the corkboard that you set up that's got some various stuff pinned to it at this point. Judges, you are greeted by the sight of another judge, one who you have not met.
I believe I found a little bit of law in this chaos. Seem to be done well for yourselves here. I am Judge Fremont. I'm pretty sure HQ sent notice, right? Correct?
Judge Waits looks taken aback as she sees another member of that squad who are infamous, if not famous, in the mega city. Judge Fremont, she announces. Judge Fremont, this is Judge Talon.
Hi. Excuse me. Do you want some coffee, tea,
I am fine.
a bowl of soup? Okay.
And this is Judge Tetley. She indicates the small corgi who's chewing on this scrap of, I think it's the trousers that judges wear. It's that fabric.
It's the black, that kind of black textile fabric.
He is holding the evidence of missing Judge. Have you been briefed?
Yes, they gave me the proper briefing. And I'd like to know, has Judge Tetley been a good boy?
Judge Tetley is always a good boy.
Okay. I see you've had been missing your side judge for quite a little while. Have you found any leads on that?
The return of Judge Tetley is the best lead we have had in a while. I believe the dog was abandoned on floor 26 or 27. The GM will correct me on which floor. And
Will I?
unfortunately, I've not been able to follow up any further. We believe he has been abducted by someone else with psi ability. However, Judge Grease has been operating undercover within the gangs that operate throughout Freedom Falls. And she turns around to look for the chimp.
And Grace, I imagine that you're somewhere in here still in your civvies.
There is... The room kind of shakes as this giant hulking gorilla starts coming up to the refuge. But he's in a nice suit, kind of butler-esque. And he knocks on the door.
There's a knock at the door.
Talon will get up and open the door, thinking it's hoping actually that it's Serena or one of the other informants that we've got going. It looks. You
Why,
must be
hello
here
there.
for Judge Grace.
No, I'm here to escort Master Brando. My name is Horatio.
Oh,
But yes, I'm here to make sure that the way is clear for Master Grease.
right. She looks over her shoulder. Your ride's here, Grace. And then steps away from the door and motions for the gorilla to come in and watch your head. There's
Thank
fresh
you.
fruit over on the table, by the way.
And then Grease kind of like starts coming down this dumb waiter that's in the refuge. Ah, hey! That's pretty cool. Hey, what's up, Horatio? Horatio just kind of nods. He has a little bowler hat that he just kind of like tips. And he goes and he stands in a corner. Guys, if you don't know, this is Horatio Nelson. He is my muscle in the great I don't know what we're calling ourselves, the anarchists.
I do believe it is the Abarchist.
Yes, we are the aparchists. Like apes, is we're apes.
What ho,
Okay.
Horatio?
What ho?
And Judge Fremont,
Wait stands to Fremont and says, I believe that is the proper greeting for her, Horatio.
Yes.
and Judge Fremont, you are met for the first time by the sight of Judge Grease. A chimp. Unexpectedly, as you've never seen a chimp judge before. And now there's this hulking gorilla in the room. And Judge Grease, are you in your judge uniform or are you still in your civvies?
He is like half out of his judge uniform, where he's got his white shirt that he's buttoned up. He grabbed his red tie and it's like tied all messily. He overshot how long it would take Horatio to come down from their secret hideout, and his hair's all a mess, and he goes for the trench coat, and he's like kicking off his pants, and he's going for his slacks. Don't look, I'm changing.
Don't
And
forget
Judge
the
Fremont,
spats.
this is the judge that you were briefed about that ordered a large quantity of judge tech and was supposedly disseminating it to the criminal gangs here after hacking the bioscanners, allowing them to use it. Apparently rigged, but there were some long explanations by Judge Gilroy back to HQ about the legitimacy of this plan.
Also, you're the one that ordered all those weapons.
Oh yeah.
What's your plan with that? The HQ
Well-
has been a little bit dubious.
Well, I think it would be better to show you than just tell you. Here, I want you to take this gun, and he hands Fremont a lawgiver, and I want you to shoot me.
Shoot. Yeah, I'll aim.
Is
Just
this a
right. Just no.
Marlon
Just
Brando?
no. Yeah, just no hesitation. Just.
Grease pulls out a fob and he clicks it, and you hear like a little car boop boop coming out of the lawgiver as it just doesn't fire. Now we control what gangs take out what gangs, and we just have them take out each other.
You finally got that to work. That's brilliant.
Oh.
Good job.
Don't-
and fist bumps.
Oh yeah, just don't go looking to ride your bike for a while. I had to use something for the prototype.
Okay, no worries.
Here's your fob.
Tampering
go.
with Judge Tech. 15 in the ISO. And Waits is writing out a ticket.
You hear like a little grumble from Horatio as he just kind of like stares down at Waits.
That does break a lot of rules, but having the trash take out the trash does seem effective. Can it? She'll hold up the weapon. Can it also be remotely activated?
Like, boom?
She'll make like that motion and smile.
Wait, Grace just jumps up, grabs the gun, kind of like, not rudely, but, overzealous. He grabs the gun and he like tosses it across the refuge, and he presses the panic button on a fob, and it starts letting out a large alarm, and as it grows louder and louder, it explodes. Oh,
Roll
yes.
me a d6.
I will. I'm down with this. I just kind of bulldozed it, and I apologize.
Can you not blow up the refuge, Zippy, please?
I am
That's
totally
all fine.
into you doing this. I just want to see what happens.
Judge Waits is in the corner, just having a meltdown.
Oh, poor Waits.
Talon's got a blast shield thrown up.
That is a 4.
A 4. You toss it across the room, and it goes backwards towards the kitchen area, where the alarm goes off. There is an explosion. It's not, earth-shattering. It's the kind of thing that would, is designed to blow somebody's hand off. That goes off. And then there's a burning smell. An acrid burning smell. And Talon, you recognize this. The back hob.
Talon. Yeah. She's running for the fire extinguisher already. She knows what's coming. And she's like, okay, everybody, either outside or back up 20 feet. Yeah, right, okay. And she's in the kitchen with the fire extinguisher. She goes, I think we may need a new refrigerator. Again.
And what are you all doing? It's
Destruction of property. Waits is updating the ticket as she walks out of the door. She kind of clicks for Tetley to follow.
You don't even have to click. He's literally at your heels with the same bit of fabric in his mouth, just kind of looking up at you. And, the room is now slightly filling with this. There's a smell of the explosion, that slight burnt metallic smell. And then there's this acrid smell. As Talon, you can see this starting to catch now as you go to the back with a firing extinguisher. Grease and Fremont, what are you both doing? Are you leaving? Are you staying to watch?
Grease is just kind of like standing in one place, and he's like panicking, like, "Oh no, what did I do? Oh jeez!" And then like
That wasn't intentional?
No, I was trying to throw it out the window. And as he's like stammering, Horatio's big gorilla hand comes and picks him up by the back of his jacket and kind of cradles him like a child and starts walking towards the front door. Thanks, Horatio. Oh, geez. I hope this doesn't blow up everything. But wait, that's good for street cred.
Indubitably, sir. Very good for street cred. But I do say, don't blow up your friends.
And you are carried out. Judge Fremont, what are you doing here? Are you just leaving Judge Talon to try and... You don't even know what this is. You're not even sure what this smell is, where it's coming from, or why Judge Talon is so concerned about the back hob at this very moment, where she's waiting, seemingly with a fire extinguisher, and I imagine like a pair of like mittens or something, trying to move stuff around.
Yeah, I think she's just kind of has her arms crossed and just like observing what's going on with this group and what their dynamic is at this point. She's just kind of just watching. She's not necessarily helping.
Just for the fun of it, Talon, roll me an agility test. And you've got explosives, so you can add that to it.
Okay, good.
Oh no.
Because this stuff is volatile.
Let's see. Oh, that's not bad. 12, 19, 20.
20. Okay, and you can see it starting to catch. I mean, this stuff explodes on impact, let alone with flames, but you manage to... It's like a slow burn with a fire, and you manage to get it out and move the hob and kind of pour some other ingredients in to help stabilize it, but it does kind of neutralize it a little, and so you will have to make another batch.
Yeah,
But
it pops
didn't
in the
blow
sink.
up.
Okay, good. That was a gas stove. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna start cooking. If you're gonna stick around, just remember whatever's on the back burner, don't eat that. And if it's unlabeled in the refrigerator, don't eat that. Or drink it. Okay?
Noted.
Okay, good. Because I mean, somebody did that one time with the broth, and it was, yeah. Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble for that one. Okay, so I'll just be a few more minutes. Give me a second. And you hear clanging and banging, and once the fire extinguisher does get fired off, and then there's this lovely poof and a smell of chemicals.
Fremont can't see Waits' eyes because they're shielded by thick, dark glasses, but there's the intense feeling of incredible eye rolling happening as she slowly just shakes her head.
I think at that point Fremont like looks at you like, you disapprove of this.
Yes, all of it.
Well,
Do you
sometimes
agree with
have
the
to-
arming of terrorist groups?
Well, I agree with law and order, and if this takes out most of these perps, why not? I've seen
So
worse.
far, it's only taken out our refrigerator and poisoned a couple of people. Unrelated to terrorist groups.
Well, you can say that if this goes well, it'll speak well for Judge Grease, but if it doesn't, it'll also bode not well. So it's his responsibility for this, so we'll see how this goes.
And then under her breath, kind of as if she's trying to keep it out of everyone else's earshot, she does add, Talon does make good soup, however. Beware the back burner. It's the most begrudging compliment.
So what I want to know is, what is everyone's plan now? It's still early in the day. You have got some leads that you may wish to investigate, but what you wish to do is up to you. Whether you want to go on patrol, Judge Waits or Judge Fremont's, whether you want to perhaps accompany Talon onto whatever errands she's running, and whether or not Judge Grease is going back undercover. What are your plans?
Waits would definitely offer to invite Fremont, saying that she is going to patrol one of the other levels, but suspects that accompanying Grease may be more. And again, she hesitates and grudgingly adds the word interesting.
Well, I would like to lay the land here. See what it's
And Talon
like.
would have filled Waits in on the issue with Serena and the face change clinic. And since Serena, as far as I'm aware, Serena has not come back yet from ISO,
She has not, which is odd. You only sent her for a day for her own protection, but she hasn't returned to the block.
Yeah, and that's also something that Talon would have filled Grease in on about Serena being missing. But she's going to go to the face clinic. She's going to get in city. She's going to go to the face clinic and see if she can hopefully track down some more information about.
Do you want to perhaps fill Judge Fremont in on why that is the case?
With the anti-militia, what we suspect may have happened is that the missing judges and civ defense that were here before are now the anti-militia, that they were on the take, that they were corrupt, and using the face change clinic, they're now listed as MIA or presumed dead and are now running the gangs.
And you did not report this to HQ? You think this would be a priority considering bad?
We have only suspicion and rumors.
Judges. Corrupt judges are no trivial matter. That should be.
But it's only a rumor.
And then maybe we should
if I
check
could get
and
into
see
the
if
records,
it's real.
That's my plan. But going in as a judge may not be the best way to do it. And these, and she points to the scars on her face where she's got burn scars. You can see she's been pretty badly burned at various times. Mm-hmm. Give me an excuse to go check it out.
I believe Judge Fremont has extensive experience with corrupt judges.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
And they're all dealt with.
Grease has seen one of these judges, supposedly Caro, which is the one that he shot while in that meeting. But Shay, the other judge that Judy actually mentioned that she had known, she was the other judge here. She hasn't been seen except for her badge having hung on the back of the wall in the office that Grease was in. So whether or not she is connected to the gangs, you still don't know.
Do we know what kind of judge Shay was?
You don't.
You only looked
at kind of.
I was just wondering if it was a side judge, if she was a side judge.
As far as I know, you only kind of ran a very kind of basic profile in terms of looking for what they look like and where they were stationed. If you want to spend some time and go into it, you can look that up.
Yeah, I think she's going to run a quick.
What are you thinking, Judge Talon? You have that face. Your eyebrow twitches.
It does that. I'm thinking that we know Judge Reinhold was taken by someone with psi abilities. Someone likely working with the anti-militia. Perhaps the one if Judge Shay was a psi judge.
You believe Judge Shay holds Judge Reinhold?
I believe it is a possibility.
Judge Fremont, do you have any way to sense another powerful psi presence?
I believe I can sense blocking, if that's what you mean. Usually, psi judges are trained at blocking out emotions from a casual scan, so
as obvious as a flare.
Yes, we can see our own. I have one question. Was that the girl with the scrap of clothing? Was that in the briefing?
No, that's something that you found out here when Judge Waits kind of introduced Judge Tetley to you. He's got this scrap of he's got this scrap of black cloth in his mouth, and the the dog was found by a little girl, and Judge Waits met this child's mother, who confessed to Judge Waits after seeing some strangeness to her skin, that her daughter was also different. It's the word that she used. She could touch objects and she knew things. And she didn't really know how, and she wasn't sure to what extent, because her daughter was so young that she couldn't really explain it properly. And this is before they met before Reinhold.
I imagine Waits would have told you about the girl and her suspected mutation. She would have skipped the part where she was kind of involved. That detail probably skipped. Just merely that this is someone they've met while she was on patrol.
Okay. We don't
Although,
have much lead.
Shauna, I have a question about Judge Fremont. With your psychic abilities, do you like scan people that you meet? Do you get like aura energy from them?
I sense strong emotions, so she has that all the time. Like from her. That's why I think she was able to sense Waits' like irritation at that whole thing. 'Cause she can sense.
Yeah, so I
things.
think when Waits was telling you the story, you would have sensed the guardedness and probably deception that was going on in her recounting of this story, and probably some other deep emotion, but I don't know how clear it would have been what the emotion is.
Oh, okay then. I think Judge Fremont's gonna talk to Waits and just say, I sense something from you when we're talking about the girl that you found with the evidence. Protectiveness? Something else? Not good to deceive fellow judges.
I do not believe I was deceptive in my recounting.
Oh, come on. I can sense that on you.
I believe the girl could be useful, but if there is another way, that would be my preference.
Useful how, exactly?
If she has the abilities her mother has described, she could locate Reinhold.
She could locate... Oh, so she has... Psychic.
That is my
talents.
understanding, yes, although I have not truly seen it in action.
Oh, that's something we should definitely check up on. Side judges are rare, and having someone with that amount of talent would be incredibly useful for the Hall of Justice.
Perhaps when you return from assisting Judge Talon, perhaps in your ruse, Judge Talon, Marlon Brando would be useful. And she kind of looks to Brando and Horatio.
Grease is just kind of like still sitting in the arm of Horatio, just kind of like fiddling with a lawgiver, and then he just kind of looks at it, kisses it, and drops it in a box that is like on the back of his motorcycle.
Wanna go get some plastics worked up?
We can, but I was gonna go distribute these special little treats to all the good bad gangs of the Mega Block.
I have
Like
faith
that.
in your ability to multitask, Grease.
If you could keep your ear open for Serena, what would have happened to her? She went in for a day. Kind of worried.
Grease, you would also know that you got given a slip of information from Slip, your informant. He was the one, just remind everyone, he was the one that showed up with a piece of paper that Judge Waits now holds that says, "Only I can see him now."
I don't know who he or what or it is referring to. Probably Judge Reinhold. Probably... Oh, it could be anything. I guess we'll wait for another one. He just kind of like crumples it and tosses it, and Horatio just kind of grabs it, straightens it out and puts it in like a little file folder.
All right. Well, you three are the ones with the most experience with this, and I would like to know what you would want to do with this.
Well, in the same way that the cloth would be handy, if we do need to use the girl, the note would be as well. I think we should hang on to the note.
Don't worry,
And-
I have everything here in this nice file folder. And it's alphabetized with colored tabs.
Could have used that at the academy.
So,
gonna
judges,
change
Organizations.
what is the
Talon's gonna
plan?
go get changed in. Talon's gonna go get changed into her civvies, and get ready to head up to the arcade to see Clarice at the face change clinic.
Okay. Judge Grease, are you going with them up to the arcade to distribute some of this weaponry, or are you going elsewhere? Grease?
I'm just gonna. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Grease is going to be delivering his weapons. I feel like that's what he came back to do, was to gather them. That's why I brought Horatio, because he's got them big, meaty hands, and they're gonna carry these boxes up, and he's just kind of gonna cause chaos in the streets. He's gonna stand on a nice little soapbox and start handing out guns to anybody who wants one.
I mean,
Unless
the
they're
arcade
kids.
is a good. Unless they're kids. I mean, the arcade
Unless
is a
they're
good
kids.
place for that. It's the melting pot for a lot of the gangs. It's that kind of semi-neutral zone where lots of illicit materials are bought and sold. So you could accompany Talon at least as far as the arcade till you
Okay.
wish to split off. Judge
And
Fremont,
I will do so.
are you accompanying Judge Talon?
Yes. Let's get to the bottom of this. Corrupt judges. I think whoever's working there would know more. So yes, I would like to go.
Are you going in your judge uniform or are you going undercover?
Is Judge Talon going undercover?
Yes.
Yes.
As much as she doesn't like, she will go undercover as well.
Okay. Judge Waits, what are you doing?
Judge Waits will inform Judge Grease that in an hour she will be making her patrol of the arcade, and just leave that information hanging there. But she's gonna kind of do the floor by floor on the way up,
Okay.
and just do a regular patrol.
Are you planning to stop off anywhere on the way or anything in particular?
I don't think so. She'll take Tetley with her though.
Oh, he doesn't leave your side,
Oh,
except for to get food from Talon.
I think, like, stops wise, she'll probably stop by the clinic, make sure everything's going well there. You know, take any incident reports from is it Jana?
Jana? Yeah.
And yeah, just kind of, you know, make sure the community is functioning, do minor ticket type stuff, not really causing a bother, just being visible and present, since all the judges keep going undercover and disappearing from sight. So she'll probably actually stay at the refuge for like half an hour and then do half an hour in patrol.
Okay. So, Grease, Fremont, and Talon, along with Horatio, you make your way up to the arcade. And Judge Fremont, this is the first time you've been here. You've heard some of the reports, and you know that you're here when the strip lighting changes from that bright fluorescent yellow, and it's been covered over to give it this purple hue. As you go through, it's like being in the little alleyways of streets. It's like this entire floor where there would be apartments, walls have been knocked through, and you've got people selling street food out of these. You can't even really call them apartments anymore. There is illegal Tri-TV watch areas. There are people smoking cigarettes here openly and freely. There are betting shops, which you would guess are definitely not legal or mandated. All you can see here is ticket after ticket after ticket that could be written out. And some of the feelings that you get from people here, there's clearly people who are on substances. You know that cinema is very popular here, some kind of hallucinogenic. You can sense excitement, you can sense deception. Somewhere off in the distance, you can hear the deep thrum of bass music, and you can be informed by Judge Grease that there's a nightclub back there that belongs to the Caged Vipers. But this is where you all are. And Talon, you're leading the way towards the clinic, and you can see the kind of sputtering neon sign that's definitely been illegally linked up to the electric here, judging by the ripped cables coming down from the ceiling. Grease, you spent a lot of time up here recently. There are some people who recognize you, who kind of nod to you. There are some people who seem very freaked out by Horatio, who's carrying these big boxes under his arms.
Who happens to have changed from his butler-esque attire to more of like a Mad Max Road Warrior look. He's got his leather jacket that is sleeveless. It looks ripped. He's got like these like little this kind of sci-fi Shadowrunner glasses on that has like this just one little line that you can see out of. He pulls out like this toupee-esque mohawk, and he just kind of like places it on his head, and it just makes it look like he has a mohawk. And he's just kind of like holding these boxes. You don't know when or how he changed. He was once a butler, and then you turn back, and now he looks like some hired muscle.
Talon, just as they get there, reaches into her pocket, and it's obviously what once was a judge's leather jacket, but the patches have been ripped off and it's been scuffed and everything. She pulls a cigarette out of the crumpled pack, puts it back in there, lights it, looks up at the girl and goes, "That's hot. That's really hot." And then smoking.
Judge Fremont, Judge Talon beside you lights a cigarette.
Oh. Comfortable here? What do you think about all this? Judge Talon?
Oh, I like this place. It's just so bumping and bouncing. It's good for the chimp legs. And Grease is just sitting there bouncing.
This is honestly an abomination, what's happening here.
It is.
Do you know...
Until we can change it, that's what we have to work with.
Oh, you better change it, because I'll let you know something.
Working on it. And she's waving at different food stalls and going by and kind of checking with them, as far as supplies and things, how the supply thing's going. You heard anything about that deal that we talked about for upstairs?
And you go to one of the vendors who makes it look like they're showing you some of the food, and they kind of look around. They're like, "I've heard a little bit. There are some people that are, willing. There's a couple of the runners that, for the Vipers, that might even be interested in talking, but ever since everything went down with the judges here a couple of days back, it's been quiet. People have been more careful. Some of these places, they've even shut up shop for a bit. Too hot in the arcade, apparently. And you've noticed as you've walked through here, it's not quite as busy as normal. Some of the places that you'd seen before, noticeably a couple of betting shops, and one of the aggro drones here, the illegal aggro drones, isn't operating currently. And they kind of lean back from you and hand you what looks to be some kind of almost like a hot dog, but you're not really sure what it's made of, and they just go, "Thanks, go on, move on, I've got customers to serve."
Yeah. we gotta get. And she kind of sniffs it as she's walking away. And then when she gets about 2 feet, a little bit away, she looks over at Fremont and goes, I have got to get some new suppliers, and just tosses the dog into the garbage.
There's a robot passing that's encouraging you to recycle food, and you toss it in there, and you get the usual eat recycled food. It's good for you. As it kind of roams the halls. It looks like it might have been used in an aggro drone a couple of times itself. It's a bit beaten up.
Yeah. And Judge Talon's going to make a note to get a hold of Judge Grease and talk to Marlon Brando about vetting some of the runners and stuff that are talking about making deals.
Well,
She wants
Grease,
them
you haven't
vetted
split
through
off.
Marlon Brando.
You haven't split off from the group yet, have you? Or are you going off to find a suitable place to put your box to stand on?
I think Grease would set up somewhere nearby. This is his first stop. He stands up on a box. Horatio's holding one, and he pulls out 2 lawgivers and he fires them in the air, kind of like Yosemite Sam style. And he's like, "Who wants guns? Get your guns. Get your jailbreak lawgivers, fresh from the Brando factory. Now with more boom."
Come on, Fremont. That's our cue.
And
Just kind
Fremont
of
and Talon, you make your way
from
in. You make your way into the clinic, and Grease, you set up. You can kind of just see into the door of the clinic from where you are. It's one of the kind of more open spaces. There are some food stalls, but people have started to congregate here a little. And you do step up on the box, and Horatio waits kind of just off to the side, but behind you, as you start pulling, like a dodgy trader at a market stall, start pulling these lawgivers out. I'd like you to make me a reputation test, please, Grease.
Sure.
And
boy.
If you think you've got any skills, I'll let you argue their case.
I'd like to argue movies. Because like you said, it's like one of those dodgy traders that you'd see in like sci-fi movies and whatnot, or the people who come in with like a trench coat. It's like, "Hey, wanna buy a watch?"
So I want to know then, as I make you do this every time you argue movies, I want you to tell me, what movie did Grease watch who's he emulating here?
He's emulating the Robin Williams character at the beginning of Aladdin.
Okay.
Before he starts singing Arabian Night.
So I imagine Grease pictures this in his head as you try to get on that Marlon Brando persona.
Still good.
Okay, make me that reputation test with movies. As you try to do your best impression of that and like the sci-fi market traders, and you try and put it all behind you into that charisma of selling these weapons to people.
That is a 10.
That is a 10. It's slow. There are people who look at you who seem a bit interested. You sell 1 or 2, but it's not quite as the mad rush as you'd hoped. And you think some of that's down to the fact that people are still a bit cautious after Judge Judy showed up at the arcade and basically owned everybody for an afternoon. But it's a couple of people are buying things. They're going out, and you can see people are starting to talk. Is there anything else you want to do before we go and see what's happening in the face change clinic?
He pulls out one more gun and he looks at like the biggest, baddest dude in the bunch, maybe a cage viper, and he says, "You know what? I'll sell this one to you half off. This one killed a judge. It killed the judge that owned it, if you know what I mean."
And this cage viper, a kind of tall man with this very broad chest, quite stocky, is kind of just giving you. He's been kind of eyeing you from across this small area for a few minutes, kind of watching you sell stuff. Everyone really killed the judge, huh?
Oh yeah.
Why is it
Got the
half off then?
badge to
Surely
prove it.
it's...
Why is it half off? Because you're big, you're scary, you got muscles. I mean, I wouldn't be able to take you. Do you want to pay 600 credits for it? I mean, you can. I'm selling it to you for 3, and that's just for your intimidation factor alone.
You said you got the badge to prove it. I
Yeah,
wanna see it.
I do. Pulls out his badge. Look at this. Grease. What kind of name is Grease?
There's all sorts of things going on with judges these days. Is that chick that turned up here yesterday, a couple of days ago, starting fights,
Oh,
killed a couple of ours.
She's all hot air. You just caught her on one of her lucky days. Tell you, I can guarantee you that if you use these guns against a judge like Judy, you'd vaporize her.
I mean, Janie tried that, and well, nobody's seen her since.
That's because Janie got some of Old Man Krabby Pants' judge equipment. I heard that stuff is faulty, like, Russian roulette. You don't know what you're gonna get. Apparently she got the boom.
Sounds like it. Well, like I said, they're doing strange things with judges. Not to be of offence or anything, not that you could do anything about it, but heard there was one of your kind as well. I mean,
yeah.
You're clever little fellows, but you're not judge material.
Excuse me, what'd you call me? Did you just call me little? He looks back at Horatio, and Horatio just kind of nods. What'd you call me, you hunk of meat? Did you call me little? Did you call me small?
He kind of just looks at you like he's not even bothered that you're getting antsy about this. As he goes,
Okay.
200 credits.
Oh, no, it's gone up to 700 credits. Yeah, 700 credits, and I stop Horatio here from bashing your feet in. And your face. With your feet.
That would sound like a reasonable offer, but you give me 200 credits. I tell all of my friends that you're selling them for 700 credits instead of 1,000 credits, and then suddenly you've made a lot of money. And he looks back at Horatio. Your gorilla friend here doesn't have 20 of us showing up to see if that's a match for him. How about it? And he kind of smiles, and then it just drops.
All right, Horatio. You heard him. They want to see if 20 people can take you.
Very, very miscalculated, sir.
And he pulls out, just off of his back from one of the boxes, this giant Gatling gun, and levels it at this big hunk of meat. This is like a Rambo version, gorilla.
Let's see if this man has got any sense. 12, 17, 19. He takes one look at it and goes, 300 credits then.
Oh, it just went up to 1,000 credits. 1,000 credits, and I don't mow you and everyone here down.
Make me an intimidation check, Grace. Use your strength here, and I'm going to give you 2 bonus dice because you've got Horatio with you.
Rolling 4d6, and that is a 10.
I rolled 9. He looks at you and says, 1,000 credits it is then. You call off that one over there. You get the
Thank
credits.
you, Horatio. You can put away the cardboard. And Horatio, like, takes the Gatling gun and, like, tears it up. It was just, like, paper mache the entire time.
Very good, sir.
And that happens, and a couple of people come and buy stuff off you after that. But Judge Fremont and Judge Talon, you make your way in to the face change clinic with the dodgy neon sign. It looks like somebody's tried to do up what looks to have once been an apartment into some kind of clinical waiting room. There is a scrappy, scratched to pieces, stuffing missing sofa. There is some kind of bar that's been set up like a reception desk. You don't know where it's come from. And it looks like it's been painted kind of white, and there's varnish chipping off of it, and it's not a clean white either. It's the kind where there's clearly ridges in the material, and dirt and grime has kind of got into it over time. It looks like somebody's made a poor attempt at tiling parts of the wall and the floor in an attempt to give it that kind of doctor's office feel. And you can see there are a couple of rooms that lead off of this. And a young man sits behind this desk, and he's got this kind of messy, short on the sides hair, and he looks up, and he's kind of like squinting as if he's having trouble seeing you, and you can see a large scar across like the side of the face. There's fresh stitches in there, and it looks like it's some kind of facelift of some kind, like he's had the skin pulled back, but it leaves him looking a little bit uneven. Welcome. How can I help you?
Darling, if you're advertisement for your own work, I'm not so sure this is where I want to be.
Oh, no, please don't mind. Clarice does very, very good work. This is in stages. I can only afford so much at once. Couldn't do the whole face, so I do a bit, so I do some more work. He does the other side.
Okay.
What would you like to have done? Whole face, lips, eyes, some filler in the cheekbones. You can do it all here.
Yeah,
eye color change.
Really? Huh. Don't suppose you've got some before and afters you can show me? Because, I mean, I've heard, but now I'm looking at you.
Oh, well, I mean, I've had my eye color changed twice now, actually. And as you take a closer look, you can see that one eye is blue and the other eye has got almost like a brownish orange color to it. Yes, it was, I was told it was very fashionable. I'm not sure I was correct, but I've had this done. And he kind of squints and he's like, I can see perfectly fine.
Right. And, I just... One example is just not enough. I need pictures. Show me some before and after besides you.
And he kind of... But Judge Fremont says, and how about you? What are you here? We could do some filler in the cheeks. We could do some lips. We've just started offering, full face changes rather than just augmentation.
Well, I guess that's why we're here. Consultation, see what can be done.
Yes, of course. I mean, I can't show you before and after pictures here. I don't know what you want, but I'm sure Clarice can let you know.
Oh, yeah. Clarice, yeah, let's talk to Clarice.
Okay, I just need to get you to fill in some forms, and you can tell there's like a presence of trying very hard to make this look very official.
Yeah.
But you can really, especially you, Judge Fremont, there is the panic that this guy doesn't really know what he's talking about. He's clearly just been like, he's paying off the surgery he's having, and he goes into a cabinet and he looks like he should be having glasses. He's doing that thing that you do where you kind of like adjust it until he can read the name of the form, and he puts it back. It's like, yes, if you just fill these out, and he hands you some forms that have got what look to be an attempt at asking for some basic medical history.
Mhm.
And they ask about what treatments you want done. And there's also a signing bit at the bottom that you understand that treatments heal on a case-by-case basis, and that the work is fine, and any problems you might incur are down to you and side effects and not, thing of the clinic, yada yada. You both know this would never hold up in court because the whole place is illegal anyway.
Mhm.
Yep.
And when those are handed back, he's like,
There's a
"I
little note at the bottom that Judge Talon's added that says, I heard about the judge's special.
Okay.
And that she's written at the bottom.
And you hand them back, and he, does the same thing again, and he's having a look. And then he looks over at the both of you. I'm sorry, can I get both of your names? I just want to make sure that I hand the right sheet for the consultation in. You are...
And Judge Talon opens up her jacket and just flashes the lawgiver. Lexi Talon. Judge. Lexi Talon. And closes the jacket again.
I see. And he pulls the thing off the page and sits back, and then looks at you, Fremont, and says, "And your name was?"
Fremont. Also. Same. I don't have my lawgiver. Or actually I do. She'll also kind of like take it out and just kind of like fashion, like just kind of like hold it about. And
as you're talking, the paper's slipping off the table. And you can hear behind the desk, although you can't see it, as he's kind of nodding, there's a tearing sound of paper. As you imagine these forms are being...
Go get Clarice. Tell her
See,
we'd like to consult with her.
and
I've heard
reduce...
interesting things. I've heard good things about her work.
Oh, you're not here to
No.
He kind of like puts
I'm
his hands
here
up
to-
like,
I'm here to talk to Clarice about getting some work done. And she's just along the jawline.
well, discretion, and he says as he now visibly rips up the forms in front of you, is very much a priority here. Yes, we've had a few of your kind here. I will go and get Clarice, and you can see there's like an uncomfortableness, and Fremont, you sense the suspicion in this young man
Of course.
as he kind of gets up and he disappears off into one of the rooms. He's gone for a while, and you're sat here in this empty waiting room. You can hear the buzzing of the neon. You can hear Grease somewhere outside shouting about buying lawgivers.
Talent's pretty much chain smoking.
Mm.
And I mean, she was using the cigarette to emphasize that she was talking to this kid, blowing smoke in his face. And when she's like, she probably tells him to go get Clarice for the consultation. She just puts the butt out on his counter.
Grease, what do Talon and Fremont hear you shouting from outside this door somewhere?
Buy a gun today, don't get shot by a gorilla tomorrow.
And this is what you could hear outside of the front. And then this young man comes back and he says, if you just, I'm assuming you both want to step into consultation room 1 together?
Yes.
Right that way. And he just kind of points. And as you go in, you notice he's making his way back around the desk and out somewhere. Whether he's leaving or he's just making himself scarce for the time being.
She just goes, come here, darling. What's your name?
He just... well, it's a bit embarrassing, really.
Your name.
What's your name?
Clarence. I know with the name of it sounds quite... We're cousins. And he kind of...
Lock the doors. Don't go anywhere. Because if anybody else comes in while we're here, I'm going to know who to talk to. Clarence.
I would suggest her
It's
advice
kind of-
because I don't talk.
He just like looks like wide-eyed for the first time when he's been talking to you and just says, okay. And
Good
he
lad, Claire.
fumbles around for some keys and starts locking the doors. As you step into this room, and there is somebody in this room. There is a crappy, it looks like a massage table. Sorry, I apologize. People are letting off fireworks outside if anyone can hear odd noises. It looks like a massage table that's kind of been jury rigged to look like one of those doctor's chairs that moves. There's a really shabby, poor, ring light that's clipped to some equipment. And there's an individual in a scruffy white lab coat that's really no longer white. Zippy, why don't you describe to me what Clarice looks like as he turns around to face our judges?
Clarice looks like half a face that looks like Dennis Hopper, and the other half of his face looks like hold on. Hold on, I gotta think of it. I think his name is.
I vote for Charlize Theron.
I was going for the guy who plays the Russian death god from American Gods. He's God, I can't think of his name. Shit.
Are we
It's
talking
like a
like
Russian.
Stormer?
Yes, Peter Stormer.
Oh, that's
Okay. All right. So are we talking like a Harvey Dent kind of Two-Face
Yes.
thing here, side to
But
side or
not-
top to bottom?
It's more like it's mixed.
Okay.
Like it's not like a fine line. Maybe the nose is Peter Stormer, one eye is Dennis Hopper.
But like a well done blend of this. It's just
Yeah.
strikingly different.
Interesting
And this-
aesthetic.
This is who you see as he turns round and judges. Yes?
Clarice.
Yes. And you can see he's very as he turns around with this waistcoat, he's got like a shabby cravat and tried to make himself look very doctory as such. And what can I do for fine judges of the Hall of Justice today?
I'd like to pull out the Talon's got like Judge Grease does. Talon tends to have little bits of cobbled together tech of her own devising. One of which is something that it's basically it sniffs out bugs, and she's just gonna pull that out and flick it on, and kind of do a quick scan to see if there are any listening devices or recording devices in the room.
Okay, make me a logic test. And if you have electronics or anything, you can add that to it.
Law, perception. Those would be the only two.
Perception will go with it, I'll say.
Okay.
Because it's a piece of kind of cobbled together tech, so it's not like it instantly goes, yes, it's a thing. It kind of gives you a reading or a couple of lights flash, and you have to kind of figure out what that means on this piece of cobbled together tech.
Okay. That is 18.
18. You don't find so much a listening device, but there is a camera positioned in that ring light. It's in the center, and it looks like it's been painted so that you can't really see it, but your device bleeps and you catch the edge of the lens.
Yeah. Just a moment, Clarice. And reaches up and just yanks it out.
And you pull it out, and there's some sparks, and the ring light kind of dims as some cables have been ripped. He's like, I use that to record my surgeries. Judges, what
Good.
can I do for you today?
I've heard that you have a special. A judge's special.
That we do. We have many specials for many particular clients, such as yourselves. Now, what was it that you needed?
A face.
An entirely new face?
Can't do some of the things that I want to do with one that's on record now, can I?
You understand this is not like putting on a mask. And he also looks at you, Judge Fremont, as he notices the quiet that's coming from you. You can't just swap back and forth whenever you like. This is surgery. There is vessels to connect, tissue to make sure it fuses properly. And even then, the healing time could take a number of weeks.
I need to disappear. Upstairs.
And why is that?
For the same reason that my sources told me to come see you.
It's rare that I get a judge. In one of the other mega blocks I worked in, we had quite a few, and then business dried up, so... It's been a while since I've done a judge special. But if you'd like a whole face change, that can be done. It is expensive, however. Especially for...
credits.
Will you be providing a face that you wish to transplant, or would you like us to use our services to acquire some?
Why don't you tell me about the last judge that came in here and had it done? Did they bring their own face, or did you provide it for them?
I'll be honest. The last one I had in here wasn't so much a judge. Judge-like.
Oh.
There's either judge or not judge. Was it a judge or was it not a judge?
They were in charge of things. It was before we had block judges in this block. A few years back. We got the odd visit from the wonderful Department of Justice. But no, I believe they were from somewhere downstairs. Looked like judges. Perhaps, yes. They had a uniform and some fancy gear.
Yeah. So, I mean, did you provide them with the faces, or did they provide their own?
I believe it was a bit of a mix. One provided their own. We don't ask questions. And the other asked us to acquire a face, which we did. Now, you say you want a face transplant. How about you, Judge? And he looks at some notes scribbled down. Fremont. Are you also here for a face change?
Yes.
And he looks up.
Complete.
For upstairs. I see. And are upstairs expecting you? It would be good to inform them of the new faces before you make your way up. Many a person has had unfortunate incidents by not calling ahead, shall we say.
Let's just say that arrangements are still in works and that this is a step in that direction. Now, here's the other thing, Clarice. How do I put this? Some of my fellow judges here are a little on the uptight side, a little more rigid. I don't want them finding out about this little arrangement.
Discretion is absolutely a priority here. It's the whole point of having your face shown.
But you record your surgeries.
Only parts of them. Techniques. It's very close up. Actually, seeing an individual in their entirety is, well, difficult.
I'd like to see one.
Yes, we need to see
I'm
your
just
work.
gonna let. I mean, based on your cousin out front, I have to admit I'm a little skeptical.
He doesn't have the money to pay for it all in one, so I do the lift bit by bit. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it will get there. But if you must, I warn you, it is graphic. And he goes over to a very run-down computer and starts selecting a couple of videos. And you can see they're close-ups, the kind of things that you get in like surgical videos when you want to look at tissue in depth. He's like, satisfied of the anonymity?
No, your records. I want to see your records. 'Cause, I mean, after all, I know you keep records. I'm not
That's
stupid,
more of a,
Clarice.
It's more of a show for the desk. It makes people feel at home knowing that perhaps we might keep records. But why would I do that when the likes of you show up? There's evidence.
Blackmail, Clarice.
Mm-hmm. Of course. You have to have something. A little something in your back pocket in case
No, you
somebody
do.
leans on you.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at the both of you.
I've turned out the lie detector in my pocket.
I'm scanning him.
Okay. And he looks and he says, I have no idea what we were talking about, with a smile, and he's lying.
Oh, Clarice.
Oh.
And I look over at Fremont, and I'm thinking, you know, I think we might be better off just importing our own surgeon and shutting this rat hole down. What do you think?
Oh, I don't know. Clarice, do you know what type of judge I am?
I can't say I do, Fremont.
Because that, your face, I can make your brain match that if you don't cooperate with us, if you get my drift. And since this shouldn't exist, I can do anything I want here. So, if you don't want to be just a drooling body in the corner, I suggest you listen to us and give us those records.
Make me an intimidation check.
Okay, intimidation is that
For this, I would say I would allow you to use your psi for this if you want to.
okay. Psi and intimidation?
Yeah.
All
Can
right.
Can I use the offhand comment ability that I have to give it to another 2d6 on the roll?
Yeah. What do you say?
Let's see. Just like a plastic surgeon to be disposable.
Okay, you can have that 2d6.
All right. Oops, I'm logged out of the thing. Go ahead, just roll for me.
How many dice in total, including the 2d6?
7.
7. Oh, 6, 9, 12. Virginia can do math. 14, 15, 16, 18. You can see he goes to say something about cameras, and you just watch as you do this, and Talon makes that comment. It just, the words, it's like they just stop falling from his mouth. It's like, yes, records. Well, I suppose we maybe keep a few, just the important ones. And he begrudgingly produces some papers similar to the forms you signed at the front desk. There's only about 5 or 6.
I'm looking at names because I've got the list of names. There, besides Shay, we had where is it? My notes. No, I can't find them.
So you have Shay and Caro, who are the two
Caro.
judges.
Right.
Neither of those two judges are listed in these notes.
Okay.
Two of these don't appear to be for like a full face reconstruction. It looks like they are for some other procedures to do things like augmenting eye color and the removal of the skin on the fingertips to change the fingerprints.
There was a red-haired former judge, female, that was missing as well.
I believe so. She is not listed here either. There's no descriptions of people. It's just names. But there's at least one on here that is suspicious to you because of the dates and because it is a full change procedure. And it looks like that this person was reported as having Bruce.
I'm sorry, it was breaking up. What was the name again?
There isn't there's not a name as such. It looks like a pseudoname's been signed, but judging by the dates, so it's dated a few years back, and the fact that somebody has brought their own face, you would imagine, and perhaps Fremont, you've had some experience in other parts of the city. People often don't want to do the dirty work themselves when it comes to face change clinics. They want to show up and have it all done for them. People don't want to get their hands messy because if they're caught, acquiring a face, it's even worse than being caught in a clinic.
Right.
So this one stands out to you, Talon, from what you know.
Just gonna set that one aside. So let's talk credits.
Well, that depends. Would you like us to acquire a face for you both? Or would you like to bring your own?
I think I'm going to need proof of concept first. What can you do about these? She points to scars.
And kind of looks and he brushes the hair and kind of feels in the way that like a doctor does when they're assessing, an ailment. Some are superficial, some are not. Chemical burns, correct?
For the most part, yeah. Some heat. Straight up flame.
I could remove the scars, reduce their size, but they shouldn't affect you having a face change, no?
Alright, well, do that first. Proof of concept. And, we'll see how it goes.
You wish to do the procedure today?
How long will it take?
Half an hour?
I look at Fremont. Have a half an hour? I think we have a half an hour to kill, yeah?
Yes, it's your work.
Anything I can do
Alright.
for you today, Judge Fremont?
Oh, I'm just on the consultation today. See how this goes.
Please, lay down. And he indicates you to lay on the bed there.
And she does, and she takes out the lawgiver, and it's in her hand, on her chest, with the other hand covering it, and she just looks at Clarice.
And he moves the lights and he starts preparing things. And Fremont, you're watching as he starts pulling things out of drawers.
Yeah, I'm gonna just look at Clarice and just kind of just stare at him and just kind of like nothing out of the ordinary. Understand?
Of course. And you can see behind the smile there's some fear.
It's good.
And
Good.
that takes place. Judge Grease, you're out in that hallway. And you've got maybe half an hour before Judge Waits said she was patrolling up here. You've sold maybe half of one of the boxes. It's not quite as paced and busy as you'd hoped, but Judges having a fight up here wasn't good for business. What are you doing now?
I have no idea how to sell more. We could start a fight. No, sir. I don't think starting a fight is good. Okay, we could start a fight. Very good, sir. If you start a fight, I will definitely back you up.
Okay, I guess we're starting a fight then. So he walks up like this, just kind of like with a little swagger, and he comes up to like this group of people. So, you guys want to start a fight?
And you don't recognize any of these people as having like gang tattoos. And a couple of people look at you and like, I'm sorry, you wanna fight? I haven't got a problem with you.
No, well, no, but if you want to start a fight, I can give you guys guns.
For like free.
Yeah. You know, guys, giving you guys a head start, and we could turn this place into a real party.
But why? Is what one of them, says, and a couple of them are interested. They're all young. They're probably no more than like 18, 20. They look like they've done themselves up like they're a gang, but there's no gang insignia, if that makes sense. They're kind of, like when you get like a group of teenagers who thinks they're really cool and they've got a thing happening, and they clearly don't, but...
Well, if you guys start a fight, then other people will be like, oh no, we need to arm ourselves. And then they'll come to me. I'll have the guns. We sell. I cut you in for 5%.
Yeah, but won't they use them to like shoot at us?
No. I mean, you don't have to worry. You just let old Marlon Brando, worry about that. You won't get hurt, I promise.
You see one of these people. It's a young woman who's hanging out here, and she's like, "You're Marlon Brando?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the guy we've been hearing about with the judge tech." And they all start kind of looking like, somebody's offered them a packet of cigarettes or something for free, with that excited, like, oh, there's a thing, like. And then one of them notices Horatio. It's like, he's with you, right?
Oh yeah. He's my peacekeeper. Don't worry. If it gets too rough, he'll end it.
So are you like a group then? Is this like an initiation?
Yeah. We're the Aparchists. We cause aparchy. Kind of like anarchy, but with apes. It's like a play on words and stuff.
And one of them leans over. Can we join that? We're not apes. So, I don't. Can we?
Science says that we share a majority of our DNA, so I don't know, Horatio, is it okay? Yes, but I feel like they should wear pink jackets because they are indeed pinkies. Okay, yeah. So if you're gonna be human aparchists, you gotta wear pink jackets so that people know you're pinkies.
Yeah, and some of them are like, "Oh, this sounds stupid," and like, but look at the gorilla. We'd be so untouchable, and there's like a complete naivety about it. It's like, how many of you are there? Are you like gonna like take over Freedom Falls, like fight the cage fighters?
Yeah, we got a couple of congresses, you know. You should see the baboons. Now they're crazy.
Oh, I've heard
man.
stories. This kid has not heard stories. He's just, it's, you know, playing up because he thinks you're kind of cool. Make me a reputation test. And
All right.
add a bonus d6 for your reputation as Marlon Brando.
That is an 8.
An 8. God, I'm rolling horribly tonight. Yeah, and you can see like one of them starts nodding, clearly the most outspoken, and the rest kind of like. But you'll stop it if it gets too much, though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We take care of our own apes.
But I mean, even though we're pinkies, we're still like.
Yeah, you guys are like homo naivitas.
Yeah. Like they have no idea what this means. They don't even realize you probably just made it up. But they're like, cool. So do we get the guns now?
Yeah, you get picked from the special stock.
And you watch as you guide them to this box, and they all kind of take one, and they look like kids with toys. They're just like, oh, what does this do? Like, so who are we starting a fight with?
He's scanning the room. Is old man Grouchy Pants around, or anybody who is affiliated with him?
You don't see him. And as far as you know, the anti-militia don't really have a very visible presence, if that makes sense. Like, you're sure they're around somewhere, but they don't signify in the same way that the other gangs do.
Is there anyone I recognize from walking back?
Make a luck test.
Okay. Let's do 3d6. Throwing them. That is an 8. Jeez.
An 8.
Through.
You think you spot the awful guy that was there when you shot Caro, and just
the one
as
I
you're
shot in the knee.
Yeah, but then you realize he doesn't have a knee wound. He just looks uncannily familiar, and it's clearly not him because he's not limping.
Okay, you see that guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to shoot him in the knee.
All of us?
Yes. Because that means more bullets and more chances to hit. I don't know how well you guys shoot. So if I just send one of you guys and you try to shoot him in the knee and you miss, then it might just end up not being all right. So all of you just kind of crowd up, take aim at one knee. Let's say, you know what, the right knee. Just aim at one right knee, and just go to town.
Okay. And, a couple of them look really unsure. And, there's a kind of like shoulder nudge. I'm like, come on, we got to look good. And they start going over. This group, not hiding these weapons. And, it's the arcade, so people are used to seeing weapons out. There's a couple of people who come to buy stuff from you. They come to ask, how much do I have to have? Because there's now a group of people with these. And that fear of something's going to happen is kicking in. And Judge waits. This is when you arrive in the arcade. And somewhere further on, you can hear the sound of Grease trying to sell things. You start making your way through and crossing kind of in front of you as you reach this atrium area. You see a group of 5 or 6 young adults, kind of 18 to 20, carrying these lawgivers, walking with intent towards somebody. You can't quite pick out who at this moment in time, but you can hear them be like, yeah, just in the knee, all of us at once, in the right knee. And like a few of them trying to like aim, and it's clear none of them have handled a weapon before. And you can see Grease selling weapons off as people are giving him credit. So he's they're just reaching into these boxes full of lawgivers. There's no sign of Talon or Fremont.
Waits is watching in horror as Judge Tech is being disseminated around a population who have no idea what they're doing. And for the briefest of moments, her own lawmaker is pointed at Grease, who in her opinion is the biggest danger in the arcade in this moment.
Make me a perception test.
Okay.
Very
She takes a
quickly.
breath, and then she's going to look around. And just
Intuition, perception.
Yeah. Intuition, perception. Oh, I've closed my sheet. Give me 2 seconds. I think it's a 3. 9.
9. You easily spot this group of kids because you can see Grease, and then you have to remind yourself Grease is a judge. This is what he came up here to do. Well,
For now.
but you know, there is that moment of this isn't like it. Your attention is drawn from it because you're like, this isn't a shock. This is exactly what he came up here to do. I don't know why I thought anything else. But this group of young adults, you immediately switch to them. And you're looking for the gang affiliation. Who is he armed? Are these Vipers? They don't appear to have any signifiers on them. It looks like they've all tried to kind of dress similarly with some colours, but nothing, no tattoos, none of
In
the...
her head, she's writing up their list of offences. You know, gang behaviour, loitering, trespassing, possessing Judge Tech, moving with the intent for bodily harm, and she's watching as they progress. The gun is just tracing them. And it doesn't seem to be like one in the lead.
There kind of is. There's one that looks to be egging people on, and now as you're watching, they get up to this man who's now kind of realised he's being followed, who's turned around to look at them, stepping backwards as they're all trying to like aim their lawgivers at them.
And
What are
she
you
gets
doing,
to, like,
White?
incitement for riot, and then attempted murder. Judge
Okay,
Judy,
which
I am
case?
the law. And then she flicks her gun to just kill a shot, and she's going to attempt to shoot the lead.
Okay, what I want you to do very quickly is just make me a
Yep.
straight out ability check to see whether you get your shot off first.
Sorry,
More or less,
what
'cause-
check?
Agility.
Oh, agility.
Yeah. I'm going to hazard and say that you probably will, because I rolled an 8.
As these kids pull out the
I get
special stock,
bonuses to initiative as well.
You do. So, yeah. I think you probably do get yours off first. But, sorry, Grease, what are you saying?
oh, so this is from Grease's special stock, and these are ones that he modified the voice recognition to be remote controlled. So when they aim it at this guy, he's quickly trying to pull out like a little tablet and trying to set it to stun. So when they shoot this guy, and then it stuns him instead of
Okay, do you know
blows
what?
a hole through.
Let's... Judge Waits is going to get a shot
Yeah,
off.
no,
But can
Yeah.
we all roll initiative? And I'm going to split them into 2 groups, basically, because...
Virginia,
there's-
I rolled a 15, not including my initiative bonus.
Wow, what is it, including your initiative bonus?
Jeez.
yikes.
18.
Just waits is ready. Ready to go.
Okay, so we have
Uh,
18, Grease.
For some reason, my initiative is no longer on my sheet. It's weird.
Oh,
What would it? What's the?
It's your
Plus
intuition score, right?
yeah, intuition.
Okay. Oh, so it would be 3d6. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's roll. Oh my God, 8. The third 8 in a row.
Okay,
You need
so it's
these
gonna
dice.
be
These dice are not
Waits. The gang split into 2, like kind of 2 groups, so 3 each side, and then Grease. So wait,
Okay.
I want you to take that kind of I guess, like surprise attack as such.
Yeah. I get extra stuff for attacks as well.
You do. So you're going to be rolling, I believe it is agility. Give me 1 second. Oh, wait, no, it's here. I've lost the page. I believe it's agility for guns. And agile pistols. So that.
8 plus pistola is 2 more. 11.
11. Yeah, that's enough. They're not wearing armor or anything.
And if I hit, it counts as a headshot because I have perfect aim as a trait thing.
No.
And you do. You switch over, you train it, and as soon as you see that movement, straight up, bang. A body drops. A Lawbringer skids off to the side.
And as the shot goes off, she literally is yelling, as a riot squad would do, "Get down on the ground, disarm yourselves, I am the law." Just generally, just over and over, barking this information from her vantage point.
Intimidation check?
Yes, please. I would love to do an intimidation check. Alright. Intimidation is an additional 1. It's based on charisma, correct?
Yes.
Can I add my reputation because I was here with Judy?
Yes, you can. I'm going to give them a bonus dice because they're stupid, naive young people who have somehow, they think there's a gorilla backing them. 18.
Yep.
10, 16, 17. So, yeah, you start shouting this. Actually, I've got to roll for the other group as well.
I use my microphone to basically, boost the voice. So it sounds, like a proper...
At what point are we going to hear this in the clinic?
Oh, you'll be hearing this now.
You hear a single gunshot, but you are in the middle, of surgery.
Your face is half on.
Yeah. And he's like, no, don't worry about that. It is fine. It's fine. This happens a lot here. Just relax. I'll give you some more anesthetic.
Slap a bandage on it. Now.
He looks at you and he's like, he brings over a mirror, and as you look, it's not band-aidable. He's actually removing the scar tissue underneath. So for the minute, you are kind of stuck here.
Judge Talon, I can take... He should definitely finish. I'll check on what's happening back out there.
Right.
Don't worry.
And she looks up at Clarice and goes, hurry.
I imagine you both also hear the fuzz of a radio being clicked on and the sound of voices as Waits is about to call for judges, but then she realizes all of her judge friends are undercover and there's no point in doing it, and it just clicks back up.
I sense just the immense amount of fear from these gang member kids. Just something bad's happening.
Well, from some of them, from the others, there's this is a bit scary, but there's a sense of bravery that in your mind feels very naive. So you've got one of the groups who just kind of panic and they don't really know what to do. I am going to say that what they do is, rather than just laying down their arms, they do take the shots, but they will miss. But we're going to see if any of them get a Marlon Brando special.
Oh. Because
we don't know what shots are being fired off. Because Reese hasn't got to the control pad yet. Okay.
Oh no, Raphael! His name was Bob! Raphael, no!
So...
Have you named them all after Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles?
Yes. One is Venus. One is Splinter.
Are you the rat guy in your head? Oh wait,
no.
That's Splinter, right?
So there's one guy and he fires it off and it's a regular shot and it doesn't even look like he meant to. It's like he jumps at you saying that and just squeezes the trigger by accident because no trigger discipline. The other two, kind of go to take the shot. One trying to kind of turns around and gets the gall to try and aim at you. Still misses because you've kind of made them jump. And you hear the as 2 incendiary rounds go off. One lands in the wall behind you, taking up this kind of food store where they kind of got fryers. All goes up in these deep, bright orange flames of this thick black smoke. And the other one goes towards the guy at the other end, luckily missing him too, but exploding in the hallway, turning that bit of the corridor into a wall of fire. The other group, though, will get to make their attack. So let's see. Oh god, I can't roll for anything tonight. The dice hate me. They also miss. They go to aim, and the guy is now kind of like thinking he's on fire, like ducked to the floor and started rolling. Not really sure of what's going on, just that there's flames everywhere. Let's see if they get a Marlon Brando special. Okay, so one of the rounds goes off. The first one aims at the knee. This guy rolling around on the floor, and you see a projectile come out. It bounces off the man, hits the wall, and ricochets around the room. It's a rubber ricochet round. No one's been hurt. There's another loud bang as one of the other ones tries to shoot. You gather from the sound a regular round, and you can hear this in the clinic. And the air starts to smell a bit odd as you start making your way to the door. And then suddenly, Grease and Waits, you hear another as another incendiary round goes off, hitting past on the other corridor, not far from the clinic's doorway, sending that in flames. And Judge Fremont, as you're getting to the door, will roll you in for the next round of initiative. Suddenly you can feel this blast of heat and that feeling of like air being like sucked from the room as the fire ignites. Judge Grease, it's now your turn.
Oh man.
As you look at this fiery destruction around you, I will say, let's go with the incendiary round that hit near the guy. Didn't happen because I just remembered Waits killed one of them. So there's fire outside the clinic and fire behind Waits. This guy's just like dropped to the floor. What are you doing, Grease?
Oh no! Look, a judge! She's here to take our guns!
Wait, I had this under control.
Grease, what are you trying to get at by telling them this? Are you making an action to try and like get them to do a specific course of action, or
Anyone who bought a gun for me would raise their hand, like their gun, and like, oh no, it's gonna be another Judge Judy. So they're going to try to defend themselves again. And then Reese would open up his little panel, and he's trying to be like, okay, what guns are out there? Which one has the fob and which one has the panel? I don't know.
Make me a.
It's kind of like an incitement.
I'm gonna say I want you to make me a logic test, and if you've got anything kind of tech related or like judge tech as a specialty. As a skill,
I have pistols. I have engineering. Okay, so let's roll 4d6, and let's hope we don't roll another 8. Oh, this is even better. It's a 7.
Oh no.
Well, we're not using this dice roller anymore.
Dice are mad.
Okay. You see, as this is said, like they try to load up another thing, and one of them. Have you just tried to turn off one with the fob, or one of your Marlon Brando specials?
He's gonna try to. So this one, I stated first that I was gonna try to turn the Marlon Brando specials all to stun, so the kids aren't killing people, even though one of them died. But we're good. So he's going to attempt to switch all the Pinky's guns to stun.
Okay. And you try to attempt it. and you just catch on one of the sides of one of the guns as they're calling out for, like, they're trying to imitate a judge and calling out for a new round. It does not, in fact, say stun. It comes up as, like, standard execution. You haven't quite hit it. You've turned somebody's gun to stun. It's not one of theirs.
Huh.
You have got another action, Grease.
I'm going to attempt to do it again. Can I
Okay.
attempt to do it again?
You can, go ahead.
Let's see. So roll 4, so
Don't forget, chat,
That's
you can add to this
1,
chaos or help them out
6
with the donations.
10 and 14.
14. Okay. You try it again, desperately, like, scrolling through a list of guns, and I imagine there's like just like a little like interface that allows you to switch things to stuff. As you scroll through, you think you found one, you hit it, and you see one of them switches. You see the readings on the side that you just make out set to stun. You've got one of them.
Oh, good.
One of
All
them
right.
out of the 5.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
four more.
Judge Fremont, could you just make me an initiative roll? Let's just see where you go in here now. You've reached the door. Oh,
That's just agility.
yeah. Intuition.
Oh, intuition. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's more.
And if you think you've got any like applicable skills, feel free to add those.
9.
9. Okay. So you are gonna be. Grace, can you remember what you rolled?
I rolled a 14.
14. Okay, so you are gonna be.
Are you asking for
Oh,
initiative?
Yeah.
8.
8. Okay, so you're going to be 4 Grease in the initiative order. So, Judge Waits, what are you doing as some of these kids are now starting to say stuff into the weapons? As Judge Grease has called out essentially for them to defend themselves, and you can hear them being like, yeah, so the gorilla will get involved, we'll be fine. Like the kind of the 3 that are really going for it. And
Is there any
the
way
other
I can shoot twice in a round? Just
Yes.
asking.
Yeah.
Cool. I want to shoot one of
then-
them, and then I'm going to shoot at Grease.
Okay, let's deal with the shot for one of them. Are you going for the group of the kids that are like panicking but have been a little bit rallied? Or the
Someone
kids that have...
aiming a gun at Waits.
Okay, yeah, sure. That's one of the ones who set off the incendiary round that exploded behind you. Go ahead and make
Yeah, I
that attack
don't like
roll.
that person. Alright, so it was agility plus pistols, correct?
Yeah.
Alright, 5 dice. 8, 12, 13, 16.
Oh, that'll hit. And are you going for kill shot on this? Stun shot?
Yeah, it's set to kill.
Is this another
She's
headshot
not
for
messing
you then?
around. Yup. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure if I hit, it's a headshot.
So, you take another one down with surprising efficiency. And, like, the other person doesn't even notice. They've got their back to you as they're still trying to aim at this man rolling around on the floor. The other 2 are now freaking out. And they're looking over at Grease and looking over at Horatio as if to be like, you said you'd get involved if this went too far. And what are you
Wait,
aiming for at Grease? Where are you aiming?
She is not aiming to hit Grease, or as tempting as it is, but she is very willing to scare the poop out of him. By
Okay.
aiming
Grease
really
kind of
close.
looks over at Waits. Would you stop? They're kids. I don't want Horatio to get involved.
And the whole time she's yelling like, "Get on the ground! Put down the guns!"
So you're
I am the law.
you're trying to shoot close to Grease, but not at him, but close enough that it looks like you were shooting at him.
Yeah. So it looks like she misses. Is kind of her intention.
Okay.
She doesn't actually want to kill. Well, she does actually want to kill Grease, but she's not actually trying to kill Grease in this instance.
Is she struggling to not actually shoot at Grease?
No, she's pretty in control right now.
Okay. Make me another like pistols attack. I am going to say there's a lot going on though, and I imagine Grease is doing a bit of this as he's trying to
Okay.
deal with stuff. So
I think
what
she's
I'm
gone
going to
into
say
like
is,
that precision mode of when you're very, very angry, and you're like, just the zooming happens in your head. All right, 5 dice.
I am gonna say that I'm gonna give you a -1 penalty dice, just because of the chaos happening around you. Like, people are running now from this area, and it's kind of harder to.
High or low, Virginia?
I don't know, Charlie. What do you want to do?
Well, okay, so I rolled a 14.
Even with the penalty?
Yeah. I still roll 4 dice. And I rolled 3 4s and a 2.
Despite all the distraction around you, you shift your position a bit so you can, kind of get a better vantage point. Grease, there is Waits is pointing a gun at you, and there is a flash at the muzzle. And you just hear whiz past you into the wall behind, just missing Horatio 2, the sound of a bullet traveling past. Literally so close you could almost feel the heat off of it.
Horatio just kind of like reaches up, grabs his glasses, pulls them down. His eyes are like bloodshot, his pupils are small. Like, if they couldn't constrict any tighter. And he gets spooked. And he starts doing this gorilla hooting and howling. And he just starts slamming his fist against the ground. And he picks up the box of guns and he throws it into the crowd. Guns are dispersed everywhere. And he starts running at Waits. And he's like, Grease is like, no, Horatio, don't do that.
I have a question for you. Do you have stats for Horatio, or would you like me to
No,
find
I don't.
them?
I'd like you to just use your, like, a normal, I guess, gorilla henchman that's in the book.
Okay, give me 1 second. Sorry, viewers.
But for the viewers in Meta, I do love Zippy and I love Grease. Waits does not. I 100% support Zippy and Grease's plan. Waits does not.
I have just got to find a here we go. Perps. Which is other. Let's go. Oh, I know who I'll use. I am sorry. I was not warned that Horatio would be here. I've just kind of taken the swing because I like this thing that you've done. So I'm just gonna find a.
Virginia, just for the record, I think she left Tetley at the refuge unless he refused to stay there.
He would have followed you here.
Okay, so then he's with me. Good to know.
Yeah, I imagine that at the moment he's kind of taken to some cover and is growling because there's fire
Very
everywhere.
sensible. Good job.
We're gonna go. Okay.
Grease is kind of flailing his arms like that gif for the glory of Satan. One that looks like the melting, the melting Elmo.
I am going to roll Horatio into this initiative now, and since he's lost his temper, I'm going to take control of him for a bit unless Grease can bring him to control.
That's you can have him. He is as raged out as Winston is.
Okay, so he goes directly after Waits does.
Oh, wonderful.
So, Judge
I like
Waits,
the narrative, yeah.
as you fired off that shot, suddenly the nice, fairly placid from what you've seen, gorilla suddenly changes. You can hear the hooting and the howling, and you can feel the floor shake as this huge lumbering gorilla comes full force at you, eyes red, as Grease is screaming to stop him. And he's going to go in for a good old swing. Okay. 12.
Virginia, I only have my old sheet, which only has half the stuff filled in.
What?
Yeah. This is the original sheet.
Oh, that's very odd. Give me 1 second.
No worries. Just before you ask me what my defense is, because it's not on my sheet at the moment.
That's okay. Oh, that's odd.
I think Waits is about to get punched in the face, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already on 12, and that's just 2 dice.
Yeah, I am pretty sure that That hits weights.
16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
22 points of chip rage to the face.
Yeah, I don't think your melee attack defense was that
I don't
high.
think so. Nope.
Oh, do you know, that is my fault, Charlie. I sent you the wrong sheet.
Okay.
I'll throw it up in the Zoom.
Okay.
VMix.
Yeah, that's fine.
There you go. So that is going to be. That's 10 damage. You should
Okay,
have
I'm
some
just opening up.
soak though.
Yeah, because I'm in my full judgy armor.
Yeah, you've got a soak of 5, so you take 5.
I'm just gonna check if I've got anything else that helps. Like squinting through these sunglasses. Out there somewhere. No, that's it. No, everything else kind of applies to other things.
Yeah, and
All
this
right.
gorilla knocks you flying, and he's completely lost it, and he's going to go in again just with a pummel at you as he's just completely lost it, and you can see the crazed look. Let's go back here. Okay, this one's a much worse roll. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 14?
Misses.
And he knocks you to the floor for a moment, and just as you get up, you manage to shift as the fist goes into the floor. We're now over to the group of scared kids who, let's see, they are terrified. They're just up against the wall. They've still got the guns, but they don't really know what to do with them. And then we've got the one kid left who's still trying to shoot. Oh, that is going to be a hit, though. And let's see what kind of round they produce. I've got to stop rolling 3s, man.
You just set me on fire.
There's another
Everything's on fire.
as an incendiary round goes off. And if anyone who's seen Dredd, we know what happens when that hits a person. It's not pretty. There is some screaming. There is the horrible smell of burning flesh. Waits as you judge out the way and you just catch the fire where a person once was. Judge Fremont, as you swing the door open, and this has all happened so fast in a matter of not even 30 seconds, and what you see is a gorilla charge Judge Waits, the gorilla that Grease was with, knock her to the floor, and then as she picks herself up, try to pummel her, as there's a few kids over off to the side who are holding lawgivers and who look terrified, not knowing where to look, what to do. 2 bodies laid face down, one face towards Judge Waits, the other away on the floor, clean shots. And then another one of these people with a lawgiver who fires off a round and looks horrified when an incendiary round goes off. And suddenly where there was a person on the floor, there is now flame.
Oh. How far is Horatio and the kid with the gun away from each other?
A reasonable distance at this point, because Horatio's kind of pushed forward and back into Waits. Waits, you can feel the heat from that fire of the food store behind you.
All right. I might have to just proof point to this kid. I am going to... You know what? This has to be showy. So I am going to... So you just see Fremont just take a look around, look at this kid, and just kind of eyes gaze back, because he's not a threat at this moment, looks at the gorilla, and she just holds her hand up to her temple, and with the other hand just unleashes just a bolt of lightning at him.
Okay. You're gonna
Is
have
this-
to tell me what you're rolling for that. Is that one of your psychic
Oh, it's one of my
abilities?
things. Yeah.
Cool.
Electrokinetic blast.
That's cool.
It's psi versus defense.
Okay, yeah. So you roll for your psi. I mean, I can look it up if you need me to. I know it's. Been
Oh,
a
I have it.
little
I have
bit-
it here. I have my sheet.
Oh, cool.
And that adds on to that with the psychokinetic. And I am. You know what? I'm going to spend a luck point to add an extra d6 to that because this needs to happen.
Go for it.
So that's 6.
And this is against his mental defense or range defense?
Mental defense. Mental defense.
Okay.
Okay, that's 12. 18, 19, 22.
22. Not quite enough. You get the sense that it's there. Actually, hold on. Do you know what? I am going to let that pass because the mental defense on the stat that I'm looking at, that I just kind of, I pulled up a reasonable stat from the core book because I was not prepared for for Horatio appearing in today's session.
I would say maybe
but-
maybe we should hire this gorilla as a judge. This gorilla has a good. That's a good.
And it's got a reasonably high mental defense, but he is enraged and distracted, so I don't think that that's quite applying. So I'm going to let that hit. I'm going to drop his mental defense down.
Okay.
Go ahead
So-
and roll that, because I think that's a beautiful moment that you've caught him like unawares.
So that's 6 for 6 side points for that. You know what? This needs to stop. So my side points are. Let me just double check. Sorry, 22. So that leaves me with 16. You know what? It's 1d6, but I am going to spend 12, 10, 8, 6. Okay, I'm going to spend 10 points of psi to give me extra
Okay.
damage. So it's going to be 66
Go for
of
it.
lightning.
I love side judges.
Oh boy, this poor creature. 10, 12, 16. Oh. 25.
25. You describe to me what this looks like when you unleash this.
Oh, you just see like one of those like a short kind of like minute like shock come out of it at first for like a split second, and then you see like just like this gigantic bolt just hit this gorilla just like square in the back, and it just hits the ground. It'll just smoking comes out of it a little bit, catches fire, and she just
Wait.
looks at these kids just in the eye while she's doing this.
Wait. You're blinded even behind your like tinted visor from this bolt of electricity, bolt of lightning, that as Horatio comes to swing again, he's just caught, there's a flash, and then he's rolling over onto the floor. He's not dead, but you can see it's that, if you've ever seen someone like after they've been tased, like the slight convulsion of the body as the electricity is kind of leaving, and lays there, tries to get up, but there's an ache, there's a weakness to the muscles as, you know, the body tries to figure out what's going on, and he's out of the picture for a moment. Grease, it's over to you, unless there was anything else you wanted to do, Judge Fremont, in this moment.
Can I try and intimidate that kid that's still standing?
Yeah,
All right.
how are you doing
say-
this?
I just look at him, and
He's like
just-
wide-eyed holding this, and he's a face that's like, I didn't know that would happen. And you know about the Marlon Brando special guns. You know about the potential random ammunition.
if you don't want to die on the spot, you will. Hands on the ground, every one of you.
Make that roll.
Okay, that's that's charisma and interrogation or intimidation.
Yeah, intimidation.
Okay. That's just intimidation. Or do I add my
You'll add your
my
charisma
logic
to
or charisma? Yeah. Okay.
that. Yeah.
So 5. Let's see. What is that? 10, 13, 15.
15. Hands on the ground. After they've seen you do that, like, he drops it shaking, looks over at Grease, like, gets on the ground, and so do the others, and you can see people are clearing out of the area now. The fire is building. Judge Grease, what are you doing in this moment?
You'll never take me alive, coppers. He rushes over to Horatio. Get up. Get up. We need to amscray.
And Horatio is just like, Sir, I believe I am in quite a bit of pain.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll patch you up. And he pulls out, like, another lawgiver, and he activates the panic button, and he kind of, like, throws it on the ground, trying to create, like, a smoke bomb.
Can hear Grease with Horatio, even though she can't see him. And she's just, like, waving her gun wildly, like, get on the ground!
And you throw this. You throw this, the weapon down, and Horatio looks at you and says, do you think that will be quite enough cover, sir?
Of course. They're pinkies. They don't have intelligence. They barely stand upright.
Roll me a d6.
A 3.
You throw it to the floor, and it kind of spins. Where you've got like the pin in the center, it creates that pivot point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's a d4? This is just Virginia deciding. Judge Fremont, you see Judge Grease chuck this gun. You've activated the panic button, and you watch as there's a sound as it spins, and no one can be sure in what direction it's pointing for a moment until you can see the incendiary round coming towards you. I'm just going to roll some flat dice to see if this actually hits you or not. 6, 12. I can't do math. 18, is that enough to hit your range defense?
Yes.
Oh, right.
Okay.
What you telling me?
So, incendiary is 1d6 with the heat type plus 2d6 because the enclosed space. So that is 12. Add 4 is 16. 16 heat. As this incendiary round comes blasting towards you. Are you still up?
You know what? I am going to use some luck points to negate some of those dice, I think.
Yep, go ahead.
And you're so compliant as well, Shauna.
Yeah, I'm really sad I went in with incognito because I don't have my dice on, or have my
Yeah, if you
uniform.
judge armor on. Yeah.
So 2d6. I'm just trying to figure out what that. So 2d6. How much was the damage? I mean, how many dice? How many dice of damage?
It was 3d6.
Okay, that's good. That's all my. I'm gonna use four luck to negate that damage. 4d worth of damage.
Okay. So the incendiary round comes past, and for a moment you think it's burnt you. You can feel the heat, and you look down, it's actually just kind of skimmed across that top, and you're used to your judge armor where you wouldn't normally feel this, but a bit of the clothing is burnt, and there's like a superficial burn. The door to the clinic behind you, however, is still open from where you've stepped in, and Judge Talon, you've heard all of this gunfire and stuff going on, and suddenly there is the sound of flames, and you know what this sounds like. You know what an incendiary round sounds like, and he's, Clarice is like, no, nearly done, as he's putting in the last few stitches. And then there's the moment where the last one goes in, and he goes to like apply a dressing to it, but you're straight up out of the chair.
Yeah, just pushing him aside, and made sure that in the confusion, that stack of papers gets just grabbed and shoved into a pocket.
Okay, I'm gonna let you do that.
Yeah, gets as they're heading out, as she's heading out of the room.
Okay, grab it and shove it into your pocket as you come out of the room. I'm gonna drop us out of initiative now because most of the threat has been handled with.
I don't know, is Grace still there?
I think in the turmoil of explosions, he would have kind of grabbed Horatio's arm and started dragging him away.
There is a secondary explosion after that incendiary round, just as Grease had intended with it. It's just unfortunate that it also shot off around as you threw it, because when you throw guns, things happen, guys. So there is a secondary kind of explosion. The dust and the pickup combined with the smoke of the flames. By the time Waits, you reach over there to look for Grease, clearing your way through that smoke. He's gone.
She will yell after him something to the effect of, Marlon Brando, if I see you in this arcade again, I will kill you and I won't warn you it's coming.
Grease, somewhere further down the hall, which is also filling with smoke now and people trying to leave, you hear Judge Waits' threat.
Do it, you won't! He responds back.
Judge Waits, you hear something, you're not sure if it's Grease over all of the confusion. People are starting to try and leave now. People are shouting for fire. You know how quickly the situation arrives.
To try and start taking control of these fires. The one behind her in particular, she's going to try and put out, she'll take her judge jacket off and use that as like a dousing blanket.
Okay.
Unless there happens to be some archaic fire extinguish system around here that she can crank.
Yeah, Talon's looking for an alarm or a suppression system, figuring there has to be.
I mean, this place is locked
like
down,
that,
so I'm
yeah.
imagining everything was flicked. But yeah, if we could find something like that.
I just rolled to see if you do, and you look round. There is a fire extinguisher. It's empty. It actually looks like it's been used to bash in a couple of doors. Judge Talon, you look up for a suppression system. What exists here? It's not coming on. You wonder if perhaps maybe it hasn't worked since long before the shops in the atrium were bombed out, because of the amount of the flame marks in there. And you can see there are a few people who appear to have water that are trying to, put out where it's starting to catch across the arcade now. And Tetley is over in the corner, kind of growling and barking, slightly panicked as he tries to find you, Judge Waits, still holding the strip of fabric in his mouth. And he starts barking at you. He drops it to bark at you and picks it up and then walks away. And then he comes back, drops it, barks at you, picks it up and walks away.
Judge Tetley, now is not the... And she glances around. I think she's gonna clock Talon and Fremont are still here, and then she'll move after the dog.
Okay. And Fremont and Talon, what are you doing? You can see Judge Waits is here. Judge Fremont, Judge Talon, there's no sign of Grease. This area is now filling with smoke. People are trying to put fires out. Clarice has come out of the clinic to see the side of the clinic on fire, and he's now chucking what looks to be he's got bags of saline that he's cutting open and trying to empty over it.
Talon is looking for computer access to access the building systems because she's already
there'll
hacked
be
into
a-
them before.
There'll be a terminal around here somewhere.
All right,
You can get one.
She's going to hack into. She wants to hack into the system and either kick in the fire suppression, open vents to blow out the smoke, see if there's any fire suppression left, any sprinklers, anything like that going on, and also to sound an evacuate alarm for this floor.
Okay. Make me it's going to be logic, and if you've got like computers or hacking.
So, nope, I don't have. I have toxicology, chemistry, law.
Let's
So
have a
just
look.
logic.
Just logic, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to use a luck on this.
Sure.
Oh, that's not bad. 10, 13.
13. Okay, you start hacking away into it. You can't find a system for an alarm. It looks like any of the alarm stuff here has been disabled long ago. You can open vents, and you do manage to get some suppression working. It lasts for a short burst of maybe a minute, but it starts to dampen the fires down enough that people can start trying to put it out. Judge Fremont, what are you doing as Talon is working away, trying to keep the suppression system going? You're muted, Shauna.
There we go. Is Clarice still here?
He is. He's currently emptying bags of saline over the outside of his clinic, slowly putting out that fire.
Yeah, I think Judge Fremont walks back in, just look where Judge Talon is, and just... Do we need Clarice for anything? Do you need him further?
No.
Good.
Doesn't even look up. Nope.
Incendiary. I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay. I'm not going to make you roll for this because he's not paying you any attention. You describe to me what happens here.
Yeah, just shoot him. Catches on fire. It's what Dredd does when you incinerate. It's not great. And she'll just say,
Yeah.
She'll look at Talon. Well, aiding and abetting corrupt judges. I think that's about. Also, faulty emergency system. Several life sentences right there.
And in that moment of incendiary, Clarice is gone. Just waits. You're following Judge Tetley as he barks at you and comes back for you through the smoke. And he's leading you slightly deeper into the arcade, not the way that Grease went. Kill. Oh, you really like breaking me on stream, don't you, Charlie?
I'm sorry. I'm chasing Tetley through the smoke. I'm half blinded still from the bolt that the side judge sent into Horatio's head. I'm livid with grease.
And you're making your way through, and Tetley, you haven't really seen him for this fight. You know he stayed off to the side, but he's scratching at a door, and it's one of the doors that looks like it's been locked up. You notice some of the arcade, it's like the sellers are kind of given it a bit of a, a white belt.
I would like to look at the hinges. Does this door open inwards or outwards?
It opens outwards.
That's annoying. That means I can't kick it in. I would like to shoot this door at the hinges, just to break the hinges, just so I can rip the whole thing off.
Sure, I'll let you do that. You fire off a couple of shots, and it's loud, and Tetley kind of doesn't quite cower, but he gets between your legs as you take that stance.
Yeah, I would be
And
like, Judge Tetley, find cover.
You shoot the hinges off, and the door does the classic and kicks up all of the smoke. And Tetley rushes his way into this room, yapping and barking at you as smoke starts to fill, and it's you can still kind of see now. The smoke's not too thick, but it's still in the air. You step into what looks like a pristine, almost pristine room. And there is a single table, 2 chairs either side, and a ragged, torn cloth. A couple of cloths that are kind of stacked. You can see the colours underneath. And that's all that appears to be in here.
She
And
will
Judge
call
Tetley.
out for Judge Reinhold as she comes into space. She's not being subtle or quiet.
You don't hear anything when you do, but Tetley drops the fabric piece, shuffles under the table his small little corgi form, and out from under the table begins to drag something. And as he begins to drag,
Move over to see what it is.
you catch the glint of a badge. Gold with an eagle. Big letters stamped in the front of the brass. Reinhold.
She'll pick it up and squeeze it and say, "By the law, Reinhold, I will find you."
And you pick it up. There's no blood. It's not even ripped. In fact, it's been undone. Some of the like the adjustment stuff have been loosened.
As if he's leaving a trail.
And Tetley is sitting there, panting at you, kind of lays down, looking, eyes a little puffy from the smoke. But he's looking at you like, I did good, right? This is good. Judge Talon, as you manage to get the suppression system working and the fires go out, you have a moment to look at the piece of paper you stashed in your pocket. And as you look on this bit of paper, there is a code. And it looks familiar. It looks like the code that the videos were named from in the clinic.
Judge Talon's going to go back to the clinic
Mm-hmm.
and is going to not even glance at the smoldering body of Clarice, and is going to start tearing that place apart, looking for records and video.
Okay. You very quickly bring up the video files. They had been left on, and since Clarice is not here to lock them, you locate the file and you play it. And it looks like the close-up surgery of a face change. You can tell it's a bit clippy. It's like he's clipped the best bits. But there's something prominent that you notice, and you have to watch them a few times before you realise that there's a section where he pulls the camera kind of to the side, out of the way. And although it's zoomed in, what you do spot is, as it kind of pans across some of the chest and the neck, brunette hair, blonde tips to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Name on the sheet of paper that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
The name's gone. Like it was never really filled in, and something's just kind of been randomly scribbled in the place, or it's a signature, or someone's crossed something out. But in the list down there that asks you about your history and your medical conditions, it very much specifies that in the face change, the skin must be a perfect match, and no skin from the like the eyebrows, from the nose. Nothing above that can be touched because of abilities. It's very important that bit of the original skin is kept, and therefore the new face has to be an exact color match.
Is there a way to put all of this information on the equivalent of a thumb drive, or to download it
Yeah,
in some way?
absolutely.
All of it, all of the tapes, every record that she can pull is downloaded. Every bit of information off of this computer for Clarice's business whatever records, whatever paper records there are. All of it. If knowing that they had the camera, there has to be raw footage that it was clipped from that could possibly show more, especially also if they were recording consultations. Wants to pull all of that too. I mean, it's just going to strip.
You can strip the whole computer. Judge Grease, where do you go with Horatio? Where do you go with Horatio?
Let's see. I feel like he has his own little hideout. Just like in one of the abandoned apartments. That he kind of like repurposes as his undercover refuge. And it opens it up, and there's like movie posters all over the wall, and there's like this couch, and he kind of like comes in, drags Horatio in. Just a little chimp just dragging this gorilla, and he like lays him up on the couch.
Yeah, and as you try to lay him up on the couch, he kind of like stands and sits. He's like, I do apologize, sir. I've been able to walk for the last 5 minutes, but that was quite comfortable. Thank you.
No problem, Horatio. Hey, all in all, it was a pretty good business day. We got it. We got some guns sold. We started a riot. We're living up to our aparchist name. It's okay. We'll just have to explain to Waits that she can't go shooting the plan.
Very good, sir. And he kind of sits back, and there's like the creak of the sofa as he adjusts and gets comfortable.
So do you want to watch a movie?
Yes, sir. What would you suggest?
What we watch every night. The Goodfellas.
Very good,
The
sir.
ape version. The ape version. This time.
The best of its kind.
Yes. The 4-hour extended edition.
Would you like me to get the popcorn, sir?
Yes.
And he goes off and makes popcorn, and that's what you do for your evening. Judge Waits, there is a final thing as you pick up this jacket, and you start checking for anything that perhaps Reinhold left. You find a folded paper note. I see you now too.
And she like looks around the room and then glances towards the door, and if no one's peeking in, she's just like
And you do that.
and then
Judge
she'll make a little
Fremont.
note for herself.
Judge Fremont, as you're left standing in the ruins of the chaos, you can't see Judge Waite. She's gone somewhere. Talon's back in the clinic, and Grease is nowhere to be found. And you take stock of the remaining prisoners, and as you're cuffing some of them to a nearby radiator, because we've established that as a thing, you get a strange sense like somebody's watching you. It's the same sense that you get when you're in the presence of other people with psychic abilities. Not so much an invasion of the mind, but the feeling that there's something occasionally bumping up against that barrier.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
You suddenly get a sense of, no, they're not watching you. They're watching someone else. There's a huge amount of psychic ability that is being used to watch someone else. And somewhere, as you blink, flashes of a woman, brunette hair, blonde tips, smiles, and then flashes of a man, strange looking man one you've never seen, but who appears to have a third eye in the center of the forehead. And then you get a call. Headquarters are ordering you immediately back. You are needed urgently for a case. And you are sent off, having moments to collect the rest of your gear from the refuge, where you eventually find Judge Waits and Judge Talon.
Well, your problem's bigger than I thought it was. You have a very, very powerful psychic against you. And unfortunately, I can't stay. I've been ordered elsewhere. But I'll see if they can't send anything from HQ down to assist you. Because you are going to need it.
Appreciated. How do we fight them?
It's going to be tough. They're going to use your mind against you, and just keep your thoughts as varied as possible and realize everything that you see may not actually be true. And let the law guide you. Because this place is needed. This place is chaos.
Thank you, Judge.
You're doing the best you can. Good luck.
There's a thermos of soup in the refrigerator down in the refuge if you need anything to take with you.
It's been a long day, and it's going to be a long ride back to Hall of Justice. It's appreciated. Thanks.
And I think that is where we will end the session for tonight. That was awesome. I also want to let you know right this second, just before we do Judge of the Week, Charlie, I want to give you guys a whole point of lore for this. Oddly enough, although you've spread absolute chaos and disorder, you have also got a little step closer to breaking some of the bonds in some places. I hope you all enjoyed that, and it was awesome to have you, Shauna. I love Judge Fremont.
Thanks. Oh, it was so fun to play with all you. And playing this game again, I'm feeling everybody in the previous thing is just so chaotic. I'm surprised we get law anywhere done. Like, maybe this is why they split us up. But I love playing with all the guns.
It would have been two. But Greece started a riot, and now loads of people have guns.
I mean, you know, to be fair, this place is still standing, so it's a benefit for everyone here. All the judges here are doing a good job.
All right, let's open up Judge of the Week. As I hurriedly go and click the buttons to make this poll happen, keep an eye on chat. It's going to be ! vote and then space and then a number of your choice. Bear with me a second, I gotta change screens. And while I'm doing this, let's go around, let's say hey to everyone, let's hear about their favorite moments and where we can find them on the internet. And let's begin, as always, with the incredible Judge Talon, played by Cleric of Cord.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm at Cleric of Cord. This game just every week gets better and better, and having the judges from last season, first Judge Judy and now Judge Fremont. Thank you, Sean. It was so great to finally play with you. This was amazing. Judge Talon maybe has a little crush on Horatio. I don't know. That was so crazy, and just out of nowhere, Alex. Thank you for Horatio, because that was amazing. I think I legit would have cried if Horatio had died.
I would not have. Instantly, I accidentally put Reinhold instead of Waits. But if you think I'm Judge of the Week, then vote for Judge Reinhold, because we're like this now. We're like thoughts to thoughts, minds to minds. Cleric, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me at Cleric of Cord, pretty much anywhere, lurking around in different streams, watching, hanging out, chatting, and on Twitter. I have a pinned tweet that tells you where I'm going to be at. But for now, it looks like this is, I'll see you next Friday right here Unless something comes up, and then just keep an eye out for that.
Awesome, thank you so much. And someone else I owe a great thanks to for jumping in tonight, the wonderful Shauna, playing Judge Fremont once again. Welcome back to the worlds of whatever year it is, 2000 AD, right?
Yeah, thanks. God, thanks for having me. It's been great to play with you all and play Judge Fremont again, who is just a monster. Just honest, I'll be honest, just a terrible monster. But yeah, but I like the little side little kingdom that Grease has, and the relationship he has with everyone else in the party. So it's so funny. But yeah, Shauna Flying Cirrus on Twitter. I have a pin tweet with all the games that I play throughout the week, as well as some art. And this past week we just finished the Broken Crown Zweihander campaign. That was on Wednesday. It was great and it was sad. That's all I'll say about that.
It was, and you can catch up with all of that show over on YouTube. You can also see Shauna and Virginia in action if you go back to Actum Cthulhu, where they played sisters, right?
We did. Mm-hmm. We played sisters who are both keeping secrets from each other. I was an occultist, and Shauna was a witch. Not a witch, sorry. I'm thinking of a different game. You were you were a spy for the British.
Yep, that we found out in that game. Yep.
Yeah, I always had weird ritual stuff in my handbag, and Shauna had a book with a gun in it. And Tetley also appears in that was too.
That was the ancestor of
the
Judge
origin
Tetley.
Story.
Tetley's got his own multiverse thing going on.
Please go and check out all that Shauna does, including that fantastic art. We can't wait to have her back here on Encounter Roleplay. And I'm pleased to announce that Judge Fremont just won the vote. So we'll come back to what that means in a moment. Let Virginia have a think. I would like to remind everyone, if you are watching on YouTube right now, you can catch us live at 5 p.m. Eastern over on Twitch. But we appreciate you on YouTube. Please leave us a comment. Let us know who your Judge of the Week is. Leave us likes and all of those things. And maybe this week I'll go through our count up the votes in the comments for Judge of the Week, and we'll do something extra special at the start next session. So YouTube, this is your chance to have an impact on this game. And diving straight across to the always chaotic but the always fantastic Zippy Zippo playing Judge Grease.
So I missed 2 weeks, and I was told that we had like a time skip. So I was just like, what would have Grease done in that time? Well, if he's trying to establish himself as the head of a rival gang, he's gonna need some muscle. So he calls in his cousin, Horatio, to be his muscle. And I was like, oh, this is great. It's gonna be like a big gorilla. It's gonna be like that episode in SpongeBob where this like big hulking dude is like walking down the Vaughn, and then it turns around and there's SpongeBob on his back and stuff. I was like, we're gonna do that. It's gonna be fun. And I'm so glad that people just went along with it. And it was like, yes. We got awesome NPC Horatio, and we're gonna get into some wild stuff. You can find me on Twitch when I do stream. I've been bogged down with work. I do media production for the University of Houston. And that's been bogging me down lately, but for winter break, I don't have classes, so there'll be more streams. You can find me on Twitch at the Zippy Zippo, and on Twitter at the same name.
Awesome, thank you so much. And the lady of the hour, the queen of improv, the DM who will go with any mad idea that Charlie throws at her, Virginia, tabletop horde, willing victim, and chief of judges.
Hi, that was amazing. So I had no idea that Zippy was going to bring in Horatio, and then there was a gorilla, and I was like, I'm going with this. This is cool. This is the kind of GM I am. Like, oh, you've invented a thing. Let's run with it. It was awesome. I love seeing Judge Talon just like anytime she's out of the uniform, it's just fantastic. You're just like in the uniform, you're like, I have a soup kitchen, it's all sweet and lovely, and then out of the uniform you're like, let's kick some ass and let's do some espionage stuff. And then, as always, I have loved being able to play with Shauna again, my Acton Cthulhu sister. I'm so happy to have you on here. I love Fremont. Fremont is awesome. And that psychic ability is
there's some rough stuff in psychic. So.
Yeah, and then seeing Waits just like by herself trying to do this whole situation and like deal with it was amazing. And obviously, Judge Fremont, you have won Judge of the Week. So, what we did last week was Tetley won it, and we had Susie, who was guesting, make some decisions there. So what I'm going to say is, you mentioned that Fremont might have the Hall of Justice, send something to our judges to help. What would you like them to send?
Just like a case of like psychic blockers, like medication.
Okay. You put this request in, and you can only hope that it arrives in good time. But yes, our judges next week may or may not have some psychic blockers arrive. So that is a boon for all of you there that I think will definitely come in handy. But yeah, this was awesome. I'm super excited about this session. But I am Virginia, and I'm known on Twitter as Tabletop Horde, where you can follow me. My day job is making games for Modifius Entertainment, like John Carter of Mars. But outside of that, I also do a lot on Twitch, on loads of other people's channels. So I'm here doing Dredd. I'm on After the Fire with Charlie over on RPG Webby's channel. Am I doing any other streams at the moment? Not yet.
You are, actually, Virginia. On Sunday, you are doing Roleplay Roundup.
Yes, I am. On Sunday, I am on Roleplay Roundup with Charlie, and I'm going to be talking a bit about my one-sheet RPG that I recently wrote and made, and hopefully it will be approved on DriveThruRPG by then, but if not, I haven't even told Charlie this, but I may or may not try and set up a code so we can get some free copies in chat.
That sounds awesome. Roleplay Roundup, for anyone who doesn't know, is our fortnightly show where me, Laugh Love Lindy, and a guest get together. We talk RPGs, we shout out things that we think are going on that are cool in the community. And yeah, it is on at 3 p.m. Eastern on Sunday this week, and we have Virginia joining us, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. But yeah, hopefully I can get that sorted out if DriveThru lets me, so we can have some fun stuff in chat. Is there anything else? Oh, if you want to, you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/tabletop-horde. In January, I'm going to be starting a regular stream doing one-shots, and you hopefully will see some of the wonderful people I stream with regularly, playing a bunch of games from this huge bookcase behind me that I bought and haven't actually run or played yet. Oops. So join me for that if you want. But otherwise, I just want to say, because I don't think we do this enough, thank you to Charlie, who is incredible and makes all of this happen so we can play this game and do things and makes everything look great. You are fantastic.
I am only here by the grace of the D&D sex icon that is Will Jones, and by, of course, the grace of our wonderful sponsors who do sponsor the show. That's N-World and Morris, who publish Judge Dredd of the Worlds of 2000 AD. I have a couple of things to shout out, and then we are going to go and raid a channel. We have Roleplay Roundup coming up on Sunday. Like I said, this at 3 p.m. Eastern. Please come hang out with us. It's only an hour. We get to talk about a lot of very cool projects. Then we are back on Monday with Ravnica. We have a whole week full of amazing shows to share with you. The schedule will be posted up over the weekend on our Twitter, which if you don't follow, please do give us a little follow. Please hit all of those follow, subscribe buttons as you can and care to all over the place. And please join our Discord, because that is where you can sign up for all kinds of things. We're going to be doing a cast call very soon for the January 2020 season. And additionally, we are going to be looking for casts for our monthly meat grinder, which is going to be November 30th. It's going to be raising money for suicide prevention. We haven't got our theme and things announced yet, but that will be coming up. To express your interest, just go to the monthly meat grinder channel over on the Discord and say, pick me, and we'll be going from there. Big thank you to the cast and crew, and thank you all chat for hanging out with us tonight. I think it's time that we go off air. Have a great weekend, stay safe, Try not to roll too many nat ones because we want to be there laughing when you do. Good night, everyone.
My name is Jace Bellerin. I am the Living Guild Pact. What makes your plane more worthy than any other?
Ravnica can never be free until we stand over the buried body of the Guild Pact.
In the name of Mat Celestia, I will shine a light that gives new life to the Conclave and brings the truth out of darkness.
Ravnica and its people deserve peace, and I aim to bring it to them, regardless of what my new patron may want.
My life is the sword that will strike down the tyranny that tries to lay shadow over my people.
Mortality is trivial. Once I'm deathless, I will restore